Okay then, hello folks. My name is Neil. My pronouns are he, him, and I am the creator of Faearth, an indie TTRPG set in an alternate 19th century Earth where all the creatures from folklore and fairy tale are real, have always been real, and live alongside humanity. Our game is set in the year 1872. It's been a year since the Franco-Prussian War, in which France and Prussia invaded the Fey nation of Arcadia that is nestled between the two of them, thinking that the nation was weak because the elven king who had ruled that kingdom for like 800 years had finally died of old age and his son had taken over, and Bismarck saw this as an opportunity. Fun times ensued, vicious bloody war, lots of casualties on both sides, with the battle ending when the Fey launched a devastating attack on the final day of the battle, wiping out 90% of the French and Prussian forces. But turns out it was a dragon. Well, actually, it wasn't one dragon, it was many, many dragons. And one of them is back in France. And pretty pissed off, as all of their kin are, that when they were awoken from their slumber, which they had been engaging in for centuries, they discovered that all of the young, juvenile, and younger adult dragons they had left behind had all been hunted into extinction by brave Christian knights. So they're a bit pissed off. But without further ado, I'm going to ask one of our players to give us a recap of our last session.
You're muted, Susie.
I did it last time.
I think
Okay.
it should be. I think we all know who it should be.
Okay, fine.
I mean, you're the most relevant for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
In torrid detail, please.
Absolutely.
We want
And all the graphic
drawings.
details.
Okay. We want, like your French girl drawings here, okay?
I mean, he was Roman. It should be sculptures.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
He's got like
Well-
2,000 years of knowledge of like
Mhm.
what you're doing, so you know it's gonna be good.
So,
Yeah. Okay. So last session was pretty much focused around Justine, very, very heavily. So Justine finally emerged from the Fey realm with Tito. Um, safe and sound. Everything was fine. She wasn't hurt or anything. Then Sylvia immediately went to pick her up. She did her. No, Moraine actually sent her. Then we traveled back to Paris through the trees, and the party reunited. We had a conversation about everything that happened, and then Justine just went on a date with Tito. So they went for dinner. Justine got a little bit drunk. Then she kissed Tito. Well, he was walking her home. Went to sleep. Woke up mortified. Summoned the council. The council told her everything was fine. Then Tito showed up. Justine started reading the book. She got 9 hours done of the Book of Scholar. And then Tito and Justine went another date. That ended in Justine's and Sylvia's room. Well, Sylvia was at Moraine's place. So I think that was pretty much what happened.
You basically kicked Anki out because he's a little snitch.
Yes. Yes, he is. He's a little gossip girl.
yeah,
Oh my god.
love him.
I kind of love that though.
okay, right. So that is one 1d8 inspiration die that you'll get to use for any singular ability check in this game. So we find ourselves. It's early morning, not too early, about maybe 8:30. We're in the Montmartre region in a rented room that is close to a very nice cafe with a rotund cat and with a very strict landlady who, a very devout Catholic who does not take any nonsense from her lodgers. As Justine, you slowly come awake, startled as you realize you are not alone in bed. And then the memory of the previous
Well,
night.
I guess being not alone in bed is normal because like Sylvia and Justine
No,
share
no,
the
no,
bed.
no, 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 no. This is a very different not alone in bed. You're both naked for one thing, and strong, muscular, masculine arms are wrapped around your slender form.
Yay. Yeah, Justine just wakes up, a little bit embarrassed, reminding kind of like all the memories about last night. She's like, can't believe it actually happened.
Mhm.
Very, very sleepy, I'd say, because she probably didn't get much sleep, in
Nope.
fairness. Let me actually check my book of shadows because Justine being Justine, the very thing she's going to think about is like, oh shit, what do we do with Tito being in my room? Oh no, we're grand. I have an invisibility spell, so
It's a solution.
yeah. Justine will try to crawl out of bed as like sneakily as possible. I don't know if you want me to roll stealth.
Mhm.
Put on the like dressing gown and start reading the book.
So, as you try to slip out of the bed, the arms tighten, and you a kiss on just behind your ear,
Oh,
as this voice, murmuring, this low masculine voice, murmuring. Sorry. Ah, yeah. So this low masculine, which obviously it's Tito. Just pulls you in. Is Salve pulchra, which with your Latin you know means good morning, beautiful.
Oh.
So
oh,
it's interesting when you hear Tito say this, because I mean you studied Latin as a scholar's
yeah,
language as a student in university, so you know Latin and you've spoke it. But when he says it, it sounds different because he is speaking it as a true native speaker of the language, and it just, the way the words roll off his tongue, it sounds different.
you shouldn't just getting butterflies in your tummy because it's just we do love an educated man who can speak a dead language.
Yeah.
So uh, she's, go- she's going to reply to him in Latin, "Good morning to you," trying to imitate his pronunciation the best she can.
And
I did
sorry,
study.
is obviously his pronunciation is a bit different because, like, what he's speaking, you can tell from your trained ear, it's this weird mixture of ancient Latin and like later medieval church Latin,
Yeah. Oh,
because obviously the language changed over the centuries.
yeah, yeah. Obviously.
Oh yeah.
So Yusin will try to like reply to him back in Latin, saying "Good
Mm.
morning" to you, and give him a kiss back.
As he says, well, hmm, it's a shame we don't have Amanada's ring, because something tells me your landlady would not be happy to see me come down this morning.
Ah, don't even mention. I was thinking about it, but luckily, I've learned a spell or two during my travels, so I can make you invisible.
And he just chuckles when you make this suggestion of turning him invisible so you can slip out of the house with your paramour.
Yeah, yeah. So my plan would be, it doesn't look like she minded your presence too much last time.
Mm-hmm.
What if you go out and go back in? Because I do need to study this book, unfortunately.
Oh, yes, of course,
I wish I
yes.
could spend more time with you just here, but
No, this is important. I understand. Very well. I mean, honestly, and he gets up, and his beautiful, muscular, pert form walks towards the
stop.
window, very naked, very pert. Um, and actually, now that you see his body, you see numerous scars across his body, because he was a legionnaire. You know,
Yeah,
he did fight in war, even before the curse. Like, he's obviously been in many battles in the last nearly 2,000 years, but even before the curse, he was a legionnaire. So you do see, on his body, numerous scars of cuts from various weapons. That, like, I mean, it's not the same as Sylvia's scars. Obviously, it's very different. But, and he walks over to the window and looking and says, I mean, it's only 3 meters. I could probably jump.
No, don't be
Jesus
silly.
fucking Christ.
Don't escape through a window like some kind of a criminal or a character from an anecdote. I'll turn you invisible, which is not much better, but
I
at
mean,
least
if this was Italy, a man jumping out a window this time of the morning, people wouldn't even look twice.
they probably won't look twice here as well.
That's
But
true. We're Marmar.
but please, for my sake, let me just do my spells
Okay,
and make sure
okay.
you're fine. Because I know you're immortal, but I don't want to hurt you.
Very well, my dear. So he puts on his clothes and standing in your bedroom, waiting for you to cast a spell.
Yeah, I'm just going to cast invisibility on him.
Yeah, lovely. Okay, so you cast invisibility on them, and he quietly opens the door, and he's going to try to slip down stairs. There's a d20. Okay, that's not bad. I rolled a 12. Now I just need to pull up his character sheet.
Assuming his dex is pretty insane, anyways.
It has to be.
Like it's good. Like he's not an elf, you know. His dex is 4.
Sure, yeah. So
Yeah,
Okay,
so
just have
so that's a 16. I'll do a roll for the landlady. Yeah, no,
+9.
no, no. He slips out. Slowly goes out, opens the front door, and just as he's opened the front door, you do hear footsteps. Okay, and a moment later, you hear the landlady's like, What was that noise?" But then there's a very quick knocking on the front door.
Yeah.
Okay, as Tito, because I'm assuming that once you heard the front door close, you drop the spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I just assumed that.
Obviously.
Yeah. And she goes up. Oh, it's yourself, Monsieur. What? Sorry, I forget. Tito, Madame. I'm just here to. I'm just here this morning. To visit on Mademoiselle de Meaux. We had arranged to have breakfast this morning. I just well, very well. I assume you'll be having breakfast out out in one of the cafes. D'accord, madame. I said, very well, and
Justine
she's
just
like
going
she's giving him the look, you know.
Yeah.
She hasn't decided what her opinion is of him yet, but that doesn't mean she likes him.
No, of course not. Justine is just going to open the door and be like, I just got up.
I woke up like this.
Yeah. Nothing to see here. Nothing to be like. She's decent, but
Yeah.
she doesn't like her hair is down and all of that. And she was like, "Oh, Tito, is it 8 a.m. already? Oh, I didn't even notice. Excuse me, madame. I keep forgetting her name. I don't remember the name of our
Yeah.
landlady. I'm sorry.
I have it written down somewhere.
Yeah, I have it written down somewhere, but like,
Madame Viviane Dimont.
Demore. Yeah. Oh, excuse me, Madame Demore. Tito is my friend. My apologies for disturbance.
I
He's
have
a
met
very, very
Mr.
respectable man, a very good friend of my family. We've known each other for a very long time. He's a good friend of my father. He's a very, very respected merchant. So he's just assisting me with my studies, and she's going to look at like take out the massive scholars book. And obviously landlady probably not going to know what it is and what it
Yeah.
does. Tito,
Of course, yeah. Madame, I've as somebody with something of a mercantile background, having spent many years on the road, I know many languages, and therefore I'm able to assist Mademoiselle de Moore in her studies in this capacity. And she's kind of looking at him as like she knows that nothing that he said was a lie, because nothing he said is a lie. He
Yeah.
is a man of the road and can speak like 7, 8 languages, some of which are now dead. So she's like, very well. Well, I shall let you go. It is fish for dinner tonight, of course. Mademoiselle de Moore being Friday and all. But
fuck? You gotta have a fish fry Friday. You
Mm-hmm.
just gotta.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, Justine's just going to get ready, get your hair up in a bun, um, get the Tome scholar, and just get down.
Yeah. Um. So you guys walk out, and walking down the steps a few meters, you wait till you're a few meters away from the front of the house before taking your hand.
Oh,
As you, because he's like conscious of your landlady, you know.
we
And
all are.
yeah.
We all are.
So
Listen, not all of us have a girlfriend living in a palace that can just teleport to whenever they feel
yeah,
like it. Okay,
yeah,
Humble brag.
magic,
Humble.
you have to
booty
sneak
call.
around. So
On this note, Justine is just going to turn and to Tito and be like, Tito, I've actually never asked you where do you live?
Oh, I have a small apartment that I own here, and he gives you the R&D small. It's like one of the like it's not like a rundown area, but it would be one of the cheaper areas of the city. It's like is he has just a small little apartment that I have, very small. I've had it for a long, long time.
Yeah, and when you say long, long time, you mean long, long time. I
Well,
know.
I mean, you have to remember Paris is very different to what it was a few centuries ago. I mean, much of the city was horrid tenements with people living on top of each other in the most ungodly, and I mean that in a figurative and literal sense. And then the tenements were all ripped down to make the beautiful avenues that we have today. I just happened to be in one of the nicer, older parts of the city that wasn't destroyed in the grand rebuilding of Paris. Yes, so
I
I mean,
wish if I survive all this, I would like you to give me a tour. Of
when
Paris.
you say if I survive, he squeezes your hand.
Oh, he's very cute, I have to say. Um, yeah, Euston just going to say that I would like you to give me a tour of Paris and tell me how it was,
I would love
the way
to.
you remember it before it was rebuilt and ruined and rebuilt again.
I would love to give you a tour of Paris, of Firenze, of Rome, of Prague,
I've never
Budapest,
been. I've never been in any of those cities.
Kiev, St. Petersburg. Uh, maybe
I'd
we
love
could
to go.
even maybe we could even go all the way to Damascus. It's been 300 years since I was last there.
That would be fascinating. I wonder how much it changed.
Well, I mean, Damascus is one of the most ancient of all the cities. In fact, for much of its existence, it was the name for the country and the region itself. Um, and when I was there, it felt like stepping back in time. And for somebody who is nearly 2,000 years old, that's saying a lot. He chuckles as he says this, walking with you to the ever present, ever obese, ever scowling tabby cat outside the cafe.
Yeah. And before we enter cafe, Jin's going to stop, take both his arms, look into his eyes, and say, "I would like to travel with you."
I would That would make me very happy. I've been a man of the road for a long, long time. And while it is wonderful to meet new people, it's so much more wonderful to share the experience of travel with another.
I know how it feels.
Mm.
Before I started traveling with my friends, I'd never ever left Ghent. Well, I've been to Paris before because,
Oh, of
my
course.
family, but I haven't really traveled. I haven't really been on the road, and I could never imagine that I would be able to. But then, when I went to look for my brother, I
Mm.
met all of the amazing people I've met, and then when I returned home, I couldn't do it anymore. I just couldn't stay there. I had to go back. So the road is calling.
Yes, it's quite infectious. Anyway, shall we get some breakfast? Because I know you have to study. I imagine you
I
want to
do.
be. I imagine you want to be back in your room by 9.
Well, I was wondering, and forgive me my audacity, but You told me yesterday to think more of what I want rather than what society wants. I was thinking maybe it would be a better idea to get back to yours.
Of course, I could. That would be wonderful. It means I could be on the ready to supply you with tea, cafe, or baguette all day long.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
Just
whatever else she might need. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know.
And just those three things. and
cough,
nothing else.
cough. The baguette.
Study aid.
They say you can't get good sausage in Paris. But
Well, it's an Italian sausage, so
now that's good sausage.
sorry, Neil. I'm sorry. But okay, so Justine's just going to sit down, but before she starts studying or doing anything, she's going to take her arcanogram out and send the word to Annelise, because she just assumes that Anki went to Annelise since they're besties now.
Yes.
So she's going to write, "Is Anki with you? I hope you two are having fun. I'm probably going to go back to Tito's tonight. Don't ask. It went great in brackets. If you could mind Ankylacon for the time being, I would be very happy."
Annalise like sees this, looks at Anki and goes, "Would it be cruel if I said you weren't here?"
Have you cast Speak with Animals?
She hasn't, and then obviously starts squeaking and goes, brushes the leaf across. What do you think?
Look, as much as I would love to tease her, you know what Justine is like. She is
it
an
would ruin
absolute
the day,
precious
yeah.
little angel. We cannot do that to her. And also, she is studying her book. She needs to be able to focus on that too.
I would not like to distract. I can't tease her the same way I tease Sylvia. It's not the
Oh,
same.
it's different. Oh, don't worry. Between the two of us, now that we have this connection, now that we can talk, we are going to have so much fun with my mistress. We are going to have so many hours of fun with my mistress.
Oh, yeah.
But at the moment, we must prepare to fight my older cousin. And Anki chuckles as he says that.
Yeah, I suppose that's. I would like to see your feelings on the matter. That's interesting. Let me just. I just message back. Ankylon's here. I know even more than I knew before. She doesn't know anything new, but she's just gonna say it anyway. And then like sends that, and then reads back through the message, and just sends, "Oh, you had a good night." Sends that. Then just types out, "Looking forward to hearing more." Sends that.
There's a string of messages appearing on your arcanogram.
Justine has just seen this and like turns redder and redder, but like as every message comes, and she's just going to like just shake her head, and be like, Ankylacon is totally staying with you for now. Thank you so much, though. And she's going to put the arcanogram away.
Your phone buzzes, and like your arcanogram buzzes, and it just says "what" in all caps. I just look at Anki. "I guess you're staying with me for a while." She said she's going back to his place. I don't know where that is, so I guess where. Yeah.
I mean,
you know where she is. You can like sense.
I can. If I need to find her, I can find her. I can sense a general direction. It's okay. So if we need to get to my mistress, we can.
Okay, then I guess it's you and I for the time being.
We can get into lots of mischief.
We can. I imagine you have many things I'm sure you've wanted to do but could not voice. Let us tick some things off the bucket list.
I've always wanted to go into the Louvre.
Oh, you've never been? It's beautiful. One of my schwesters would have more appreciation. I'm not so artsy-minded, but we can take a look. Come. Let us go.
Yes. I could have so much fun.
Oh
I can have so much fun with my camouflage in there.
I like pause, like, oh, we're not going for appreciation. Okay, but this is
Annelise, what have you
I can
done?
work with this. I will release a draconic terror upon Paris that has not been seen since a couple of weeks.
Oh, I can just imagine like the chaos he'd wreak in the Egyptian exhibit with the fucking mummies.
Oh yeah,
exactly, yeah.
I can tell. I can shadow jump to so many little crannies and such. We're going. It's going to be great.
Oh my god.
So,
What did I do?
Multiplace? No, that's too much. That's too much.
I feel like somebody needs to step in for Gwyn's chaos. So like,
Yeah.
Okay, so Sylvia, you wake up in the arms of your love,
yay.
and
Romance, dragon mischief.
and Moraine's arms tighten and pull you in as you move around as well. Little nuzzling kisses behind your ear as well.
I don't want to get up just yet. I was like, fuck this, I'm responsible. I'm responsible all the fucking time. I'm not like...
So you spend however much time you wish in bed, eventually getting up, feeling quite hungry, and looking for some breakfast, which is, of course, provided very quickly by the brownies in her palace.
Yay. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So, what are your plans for today, Sylvia?
Well,
Do you wish to brew any more herbal remedies?
Well, I wanted to do that. I think I need to get more.
Don't forget, Annelise gave you some herbs.
Oh yeah, I do have some more supplies.
Yeah, I think it was enough for, was it 2?
One,
I think
yeah, 2. So I was going to go
2 superior healing tinctures.
But I was thinking about the token that you gave me. I was wondering if it would be possible to make more. Maybe I was thinking I have a very powerful healing spell, just in case any of us get severely injured.
Oh, we would make a token together.
Well, if is that possible?
That would be delightful. Yeah.
I always kind of.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Are there even limits on your power? But
so I'm an elf, not a god.
Well, from where I'm standing.
Oh, please. Look, from where most humans are standing, you are on the path to deification yourself.
Oh, don't even get me started. I've had to visit the druids twice since getting back, and it's a little bit much. They asked, oh, you are from the organization in Prussia, and because I didn't train with an organization, I was trained by Eiche, so as soon as I said that, it was suddenly, oh, you are.
Most humans have never been formally trained in magic by one of my kind. You are quite the exception.
Well, I think it has less to do with me and more to do with Eicha being very kind. And
how she wouldn't? No, my kind. We don't waste our time putting effort into humans if we don't think it's worthy. Your lives are so short and you're so fragile that we just accept that most of you will be dead because that is your nature. So the fact that she saw you and chose to heal you and train you means she saw something special in you, just as I did the first time we met.
Sylvia at this point is going very, very red, just doesn't know what to say. Well, I think you're very special as well, but I suppose...
Of course, look at me, I'm fabulous.
Yeah, well.
Anyway, let us have a breakfast.
Sylvia's going to give her a kiss then.
Yeah, so we shall eat our breakfast, and then we shall go to my laboratory. You can brew your herbal poultice, your herbal tinctures, and then we can make some spell tokens. It will take several hours, depending on the nature of the spell that you're putting in.
Of course, no, I know the spell, but you know the technique for putting it into something. So I'm sure we will figure it out. But Sylvia's just going to take her hand and kind of kiss her cheek at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the moment she's kind of trying not to address the very obvious, hey, I could be dead in a week.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Super.
So
So I think we're going to maybe do a little bit of time jumpy skippy stuff just
sure.
because of the nature of what's happening. Okay. So, Justine, you guys get back to Tito's apartment at about, we'll say 9:30 between finishing breakfast and jumping in a cab and getting there. Okay.
Yep.
It's about 9:30. Okay. So you get settled in. So just to keep the number simple, we'll say it's 10 o'clock in the morning when you sit down to start reading.
Okay.
How many hours do you want to spend?
Okay. Let's say 12 until midnight.
Well, if it's starting at 10,
14.
then
14, sorry.
yeah, that would be 14 hours exactly. So
I'm
just
not great with my numbers.
Hey, well done, no.
okay.
Better than I am.
So that's 25 hours, right?
Yeah.
Or
That
23.
is 23 hours.
23 hours.
Okay, super. Now during this, so this is what happens. So during that time, Tito is basically he's not like hovering around you, but he's just periodically, regularly coming with tea, with coffee, with some baguette, with some cheese. You know, he cooks, and he doesn't cook like a big meal. He's cooking lots of small, little light dishes throughout the day, so you can just be grazing throughout the day, so you don't actually have to stop, you know, and you're able to get through a solid 14 hours of study. Okay. Super. So
Get you a
Sylvia,
man who cooks. Love it.
Sylvia,
We do.
what are you doing? Are you first of all going to be working on those healing tinctures?
Yes. I
Sorry,
would
just
like to
give
do
me.
that. And then
Okay, so you do need to give me. You obviously don't need to do a foraging roll, but you do need to give me a brewing roll for that. So that is herbalism intellect roll. Now, don't forget, as I said, because you are using Moraine's laboratory, you get advantage on that roll. So you're getting an additional +5.
okay. I also want to cast Lesser Bless on myself.
Of course, you do. So that gives you an additional. Is it +6?
+5 is my resolve.
+5. Oh, your resolve. Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
you have an intellect of 2.
Mm-hmm.
You have herbalism 5. Okay. So that's 7 with an additional +5 from the lesser
We're on
bless,
12.
12, and the additional +5 advantage because you're using the Moraine's laboratory brings you up to a +17 to the roll.
Okay.
So basically, don't roll a nat fucking 1.
Don't you nearly fucking said it now. That was a 1. That was because you said it.
It had to happen. It was in the air. I knew it was going to
You
happen.
said
Okay,
it
so
because you said it.
that
I
brings
can
you.
use my.
Wait.
It brings me to an 18.
Yes,
But
what
I
were you
can
going to
also
say?
use my boon of Phalok.
Yeah, the target number for the superior healing tinctures is 19.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna use my. I'm gonna burn.
There are no critical fails on these kind of non-combat based.
It explodes in your face. No, I'm gonna use my
Yeah,
Phalok.
you should be on a fair look, so that is 2 more. Okay.
It had to be a 1. It just had.
Yeah, well, it's because he fucking said it, wasn't
Now
it?
I'm going to say 1, 2. It takes you. I'm going to say 3 hours to do that. Okay.
Okay.
Because they're superior. It's an hour for a standard, 2 hours for greater, 3 hours for superior. Okay.
Okay.
4 hours for a legendary healing tincture, which you can't make. Though you do have a book that eventually, in your epilogue,
Can't make yet.
Yeah, no, like in your epilogue, you will be able to make legendary healing tinctures, which is 4d6 plus 12. So you want to make so Moraine asks you about some spell tokens, okay?
Okay.
So she gets a bunch of what you initially think are gold coins, but they're not. They're plain gold discs, okay? And she talks to you about the whole process, asking you what spells you want to put in them.
Okay, well, I'm thinking I want a regeneration for each of us in case any of us get a major crit.
Okay, so that's a 4th level spell, okay?
Yes.
So it will take 4 hours per token.
Okay, Jesus, right.
You're putting a 4th level spell in.
Yeah, so that's
And you spend 3 hours brewing. So you could conceivably do 2 tokens.
Yeah, I'll do 2 then.
Okay, so over the next 8 hours, you're working with Moraine, and you see her etching. She has this weird. It looks like a stylus, but it's made of crystal. And when she takes in her hand and channeling, it glows with this beautiful radiant light, and she like uses it to like burn arcane glyphs into the discs using the stylus, and this enchants the object and fixes it. And then she asks you to cast your spell into the token.
Okay.
And then when you do, the glyph that she had created starts to shift and change form, and then the magic is set. So you have 2 spell tokens with the regeneration spell on them. Okay.
Okay, I want to do that. And I'll do another one as well because I should get one as well. So that's fucking like nearly the whole day gone.
I'm just going to say also that you're going to, because the way the spell works is reduces the natural healing time of an injury by 1 week for every 8 mana spent.
Right.
So that's how.
So it's not okay.
Right. So when doing it previously, you had to just spend enough mana to have like cut that.
In our previous campaign, I added a bit more. It was a bit more vague. I was basically randomly making up numbers of this much mana to heal a broken bone, this much mana to regrow a finger, this much mana to regrow an arm. You know.
I thought it was you only need to upcast to regrow a limb.
No, it was up depending on what you were doing. You know, if it was healing a simple break, it was like fairly simple. But but because I've changed the way the spell works, because ableism, now the way it works is it reduces the natural healing by 1 week for every 8 mana that you spend. How much mana do you have?
110 of my own plus 30.
110.
Would that be cut down at all by the staff, or would it not count since it's going into a token?
No, it's Sphere of Light. The staff is Sphere of
Wild.
Gotcha.
But so if, for example, if somebody breaks their femur, and that takes about 12 weeks, casting regeneration only reduces it by a week?
Per 8 mana spent.
So you could spend like 48 to shave a month off.
Oh,
so if you spend 96 mana, you would instantly heal that major critical injury.
Oh my god, that's okay. Shit. Right.
As I said, I've changed the nature of the spell because ableism.
I mean, it's still useful for like, because like minor crit and some mages we can knock out within the space of a few weeks, so it's still useful. But yeah, it might not be a cure.
And like, let's be honest, like, so just in terms of hold on.
So is it better in that case to like put them all into like Stony Steps and just try and avoid it happening?
Well, Stony Steps not going to help you with. I mean, it may help you with things like
it's more of a gamble as like, oh, get out of there.
But going into if we go into the major critical injuries, okay, most I'm just pulling up the sheet here. Most of the major critical injuries, you're talking. Okay, so actually, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, actually, 6 of the major critical injuries have a healing time of 12 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So reducing it by 1 week is a bit like useless.
I mean, you can spend your whole mana pool and
you could spend your whole mana pool and make 1.
Oh my god.
As an emergency.
You're putting 100 mana worth, like 100 mana into a token that is activated with a minor action, and you are able to make this for free.
I mean, we have time. So if you just
really
take
complain about this,
you know.
And I mean, you could. Well, I suppose you don't want to empty out the mana receptacles at the moment.
Not the one that Justine made.
I'm going to make new ones because mine is gone. Like mine is dead. So I'm going to make the new ones for the both of us.
Oh,
Yeah, just
I had one go left in mind, but I can.
make one region today, make another one tomorrow, make another one next day.
Yeah.
Takes longer, but it's still you end up the same place.
Let's not forget, critical injury mechanic in my game is pretty serious. If you are unlucky in your rolls, I mean, as I was only discussing this with Susie today, it's a 1 in 2,000 chance of getting a major critical injury. So
Yeah.
probabilistically, it's a very low incident. But that's the whole point. If you are unlucky and it happens,
It's all
it,
over.
it fucks you up. It doesn't
Yeah.
completely and permanently disable you, but it's supposed to fuck you up, you know?
Put you out of the fight at least.
Which is why I then have things like the heal all potion and spells like regeneration to deal with this, you know?
Cheeky question: is Moraine's presence able to eat some of that mana cost at all?
No, it's not a cheeky question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just give me 1 sec. I want
I've
to look.
nothing pressing on, so if I have
No,
it,
I
I
mean,
end up
it's-
using
yeah,
up all my
it's-
power, it's fine.
Is what it is.
I just want to look at her character sheet for a minute.
All stats. Godlike.
Maximum. Oh.
No, her intellect, resolve, and magic are quite terrifyingly impressive. Obviously, her magic is her highest stat, and intellect is her second highest stat. If anybody's curious, she has an intellect of 8.
Woof.
Yes. So yes. Okay. We are talking, you know, IQ 250 kind of level here, you
Yeah.
know,
I have an
like
intellect.
crazy.
I'm
You
just
know,
remembering a time in campaign 1, Sylvia, my other character broke her leg, and it was just like, oh shit, and then, healed, and then, okay, let's carry on. And like realize now if that happened, we'd be fucking dead.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a roll, okay?
I get what you're saying about the spell. It's just more that it's no longer useful in combat.
What? No, well, it was never supposed to be. It was never a combat spell. Regeneration was never a combat spell. In campaign 1, when Christina's character Selena would cast that spell, it was never during combat. Not once did she ever. It's not a combat spell. That's not the point of it, okay? If you get hit by a critical injury, you are fucked up for that fight, and then after the fight, you are healed. Because that's how this mechanic works in my system. Okay, so I rolled a 29 on that roll. So I'm going to roll 4d12.
Ooh.
And D12s are one of my favorite dice, and they are chronically underused in systems.
That's true. It is true. They're very cool.
Yeah, here we go.
I remember there was a Full Metal Alchemist game that Neil and I played in. Oh, it was a homebrew, right? So we were using D12s, I think it was.
Excited.
But you didn't want to roll high or low. You wanted to roll a 5 or a 6. 5, 6, 7 be in the middle, because alchemy.
Yeah,
and it was actually
strange.
so cool when we were doing it. It was
that.
like, are you hitting the balance, basically? That's
Right.
That's what you're
I'll have
for.
to find it. That sounds neat.
Based on these rolls, after Annelise's
That's cool.
very, very good and reasonable suggestion, I'm going to say that you save 23 mana from Moraine's assistance, which is a not insignificant amount of fucking mana.
That's huge.
Yeah. Now,
I mean, hey, that's enough to put into another token if you want to.
so it's not. So 8 times 12 is 96. So if you wanted to be using these tokens in combat, you're spending a minimum of 96. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, you do not have 192 mana. Wait, how much? If we also include the temporary receptacle that Justine gave you, how much mana have you got?
It is actually 190.
So close.
Wait, how much mana was in the receptacle that Justine gave you?
50.
30, right?
50, wow. And you have 115.
I have 110.
So that's 165. Sorry, 160.
Yeah, plus my permanent one is 30, 190.
Okay. I'm going to say then, fuck it. We're splitting hairs over like a value of 2 or 3. That
You get 2.
like I think a difference of like 3. That if you were to expend both mana receptacles with Moraine's help, you can make 2 supercharged regeneration spell tokens, each of which would instantly heal what would naturally take 12 weeks,
Right.
which means that, I mean, the kind of major critical injuries that require 12 weeks are breaking a
Broken femur.
bone in the dominant leg or the non-dominant leg, because a lower limb break is 12 weeks. Okay.
Probably broken ribs as well.
A broken rib.
Yeah.
Severe internal organ damage.
Yeah.
Severe head injury.
Yeah.
Or internal bleeding.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking serious fucking injuries here. Injuries that, if these happen to us, we would be rushed to A&E so we don't die, and would need months of recovery.
I was picturing the whiplash of you recovering from damage like that in like half a second. Oof.
So I'm going to say expending both your mana receptacles.
That's temp. That's Justine's mana receptacle. Fucked now. It's
That's fine.
gone.
But that's okay. Justine's going to make new ones, so they are both expended. But that you now will you now have 2 regeneration spell tokens that have been so massively supercharged, and Moraine is pretty impressed with the level of power you're exhibiting.
Well, I'm pretty impressed by her in in general. So like, I'm sort of like, hey, you think I'm kind of cool? Okay, this is.
I did magic.
So now we get.
Look at me doing it, Mom.
We now get onto the most important thing, Annelise.
Yeah.
You and Anki go to Duluth. What happens? So what Anki wants to do is basically go into the exhibits in amongst the various different artifacts, like, in the Egypt section, the stone reliefs and stuff like that, perfectly camouflaging themselves, and then waiting for like tour groups of kids to suddenly turn up, or old women, and suddenly reveal himself and jump out. That's what he wants to do.
Absolutely. I will work in concert and hang out in crowds and use my ring of telepathy to like ping him when good targets are on the way.
Excellent. You cause serious disruptions.
Absolutely.
To the point that after about an hour or so of this, you see a group of security guards walking around the museum trying to find Anki, but of course they can't, because he can perfectly camouflage into his background, okay? And he has you sending him telepathy messages.
Yeah, once I start seeing guards, I just start making like a web of like information. It's like, okay, there are guards coming through this wing, so let's go hit this one instead.
Yeah. What I have in my head as well of bits going up to like something like, say, the Venus de Milo, and then seamlessly blending in, having her suddenly have an arm, and then have that arm move, or going up against paintings and like just start running around on the painting so he's moving, and it's like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So absolutely. So, okay.
Justine would be mortified when she hears it.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to tell you,
I left you.
are we?
She'll know. She has like telepathy.
This is going to be in the news.
Absolutely. This will be in the Parisian newspapers. Yeah.
She'd be like, I left you for a day.
That's only just the bit. You think there's just one museum in Paris?
So as
we're going to Père Lachaise Cemetery.
Yeah, we're just walking down.
So day one of this, Justine, you do 14 hours, okay? You and Tito do eventually get to bed. So I have to ask you a very serious question, Justine. How amorous are you feeling when you go to bed with Tito?
Quite.
I was about to say, yeah, most people wouldn't be feeling that after 14 hours of study.
Yeah. So what happens is, I'm going to say, you have a very passionate experience, but then after you're finished and you're cuddling and you start Looking for a bit more, teacher says, as much as I want to, and trust me, I do, I know you have important work to do tomorrow, so you really must save your strength.
Why are you so reasonable? I'm usually the reasonable one.
Okay, give me a charm roll, Justine.
Okay. Justine has no charm. Just
You
for
have
the
a charm of
record.
1.
Ah,
Something.
listen.
No.
Justine rolled 18.
Hey.
Wow.
You convince him for round 2.
Let's
Hey.
go. I'm sure it was.
But if you start looking for round 3, he's putting his foot down. Okay.
That's what it takes.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So the next day, you guys wake up. Justine, you wake up to the sounds of cooking as Tito is in the kitchen and he's doing you up some scrambled eggs with some cheese and some fresh baguette. There's some. You can smell the coffee brewing as he's getting a hearty meal ready for you for another day's travel. By the way, just for our listeners, a long rest in Fey Earth is 6 hours, not 8.
That's how much sleep I regularly get.
Yeah,
Who
because
has time to get 8 hours? Fuck.
as a parent, I just think the idea of 8 hours of sleep is the most nonsensical, unbelievable, laughable thing in the world. I'm totally okay with a world full of fairies and elves and goblins and dwarves and dragons
That's
and shit.
consistent 8
But
hours of sleep.
8 hours of sleep
Sleep is like
every
no.
night,
Every night. No.
that's just stupid. No, okay.
Who
We
gets that?
we live in the real world with magic and witches and sea giants and Tarask. Not ridiculous fairy tales like 8 hours, okay? So
That's
you still
great.
manage to get a good 6 hours. You wake up at about 7, half 7-ish, Justine, having gotten 6 hours, okay? You get into your breakfast, and he says, so, how many hours today, my darling?
As many as I could, I'm afraid.
No, of course. So then we'll say, if we say that you start at 8:30,
Mhm.
how long are you going to read till? I'm not making you, by the way, give me any roles for this because with your, not just your intellect, but you also have willpower, research, reading.
Memory.
You're able to sit down and
Oh, yeah.
focus like this. You are
Oh, yeah.
perfectly trained for this. So I'm
Yeah.
not even making you roll.
No.
You know,
Like,
so literally
thank
it's a
you.
case of you tell me how
Yeah.
many hours starting at 8:30. How many hours would you say she's going to do?
let's
'Cause-
do until like midnight again.
Okay, so that's going to be, what's that? Is that 15 and a half hours? Yes, it is 15 and a half hours. Because a half hour brings us to 9 plus 15 is midnight. 15 plus 9, 24. Yeah.
Yeah. Fair.
Okay, so that's 15 and a half hours. Nice. Okay.
Knocking it out.
So how much is that in total?
Just give me 1 second. So that is
38.
38.5.
Nice.
Getting there. Getting there.
Justine is just like in her I need to prepare for exams mode, you know.
Yeah.
She's probably been through like worse in college.
So yeah.
And this time there is actually someone to like bring her food.
Yeah, you have distractions.
So you have 60. So remember, you have to do this in 7 days. You have
Mhm.
61.5 days left, and you
Hours.
have 50 hours left, and you have 4 days to do it. So that's just over 15 hours per day.
Okay.
Okay, which I mean,
so we
you
need to start.
well, I mean, like you did 15 and a half hours today.
Yeah.
So like if you're doing 15 and a half hours for the next 4 days, that's it. You've hit it. You know?
Yeah, we'll try to do that. So
Mm.
we're saying no to Tito this tonight. We'll try to get to bed earlier, wake up earlier, and try to do
Okay.
it again.
I need you to give me a resolve roll, please. You can have willpower.
Resolve courage.
No, I think this is
No.
willpower.
Willpower.
This is willpower for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Can Justine resist the baguette? The nighttime baguette.
So I rolled 14. I have 3 resolve. That's 17 willpower. That's 18 again.
Pretty good.
Okay, I'm just gonna. I mean, this is the funny thing. Tito does not have a high charm.
Disagree. He has an innate charm.
Although I rolled a natural 19 on my roll, bringing it up to 21.
There you go. Hey.
So I'm going to say, if this is okay with Justine, and if this is okay with you, my player, Polina, we're just having fun here. But if you don't want this, then that's okay. But I would like to say for the narrative that you go to bed all determined to get a good night's sleep. And as soon as those muscular arms wrap around you, your resolve fades away.
Yeah.
Do it.
Okay.
Oh well, here we go again.
Especially when he starts murmuring to you in Latin.
Oh, charm oration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, cannot resist that.
That would do it. That would do it.
Get you a man that cooks and speaks Latin.
Stop.
So, on day 2, Sylvia, you could just spend the day making a third super hyper powered regeneration spell token.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Now that's you tapped out, okay? Like,
That's
I
fine.
mean, it's 96 of your 110 mana, okay?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay, so
if I need to travel anywhere, I'm okay.
yeah. So Annelise, where do you and Anki go on day 2?
I'm actually going to be productive and go to local barracks and try and buy just a shit ton of grenades. Just
okay.
Grenades. Just
Cool.
because from what I've researched,
Yes,
they kind of fell out of popularity for about 20-something years as like firearms hit that. Well, we don't need grenades because we can just shoot someone from far enough anyway.
yeah, because
So
I know
they
were actually used quite a lot in the Napoleonic War, from what I
much
understand.
so, yes.
Yeah.
I was hoping that I might get lucky and rifle grenades had come into popularity, but they hadn't yet. That's like World War II-ish. So at least like safe ones.
Yeah.
The current ones are safe. So they might have a surplus. It's a question of whether it's like still good quality.
So wait, sorry, are you saying you're looking for some old Napoleonic grenades, or
not as old as that? Like,
well, don't forget. Sorry to interrupt you, my love.
I
The
suppose that's not too
Napoleonic
old,
War
yeah.
was only what? This is 1872. Napoleon was it 1830? 1830 was Napoleon, wasn't it?
Sounds right to me.
Is that right, chat? Was Napoleon 1830s?
Napoleonic War was 1803 to 1815.
Okay, so about 15. Okay, so even 1815, 1872, you're still talking only about just over 60 years ago.
I mean, as long as they've kept the powder dry, it should still be good.
Like there are men alive today in their 80s, albeit, who fought in the Napoleonic War.
That's true. So they if they have surplus of that, I can buy for cheap. I'll get.
I'm just going to say, you could get that easily. Anything better, because you're not a French soldier. We're going into charm rolls and persuasions and stuff. So it's up to you.
I'll take what they've got in surplus. This is not a matter of I need one good grenade. It's more of I'll take a bunch, and then a big explosion is a big explosion.
I'll say that because they are going to try and fleece you.
Respectful.
For 10 gold, you get a half dozen grenades.
For 10 gold? Can I try and barter?
Give me a charm roll. Absolutely.
Let's give it a shot.
I can make grenades, actually. I forgot I could do that.
Hey, your pine cones. Yeah.
Yes, my pine cones. Which now do max damage.
These will be... Oh, yeah, these will be different grenades, though.
Yeah, these are full powder. I was going to ask if I could add military law, but that seems stretching it. 12 plus 2, 14. It's fine.
Nah, they're looking for the chat.
Fair enough.
You and I are going to... we will discuss stats for these devices.
Yeah, for
Okay. Off stream, you and I will discuss stats for these devices.
I'll give them the 10.
And I can't remember how these actually worked to activate.
At this point, it's I think pin and pull had come into.
I think
play
it's
by
pin
this
and
point.
pull.
Yeah, late 19th century grenades, yes, but this is a Napoleonic grenade,
Oh, true.
so it might be fuse.
It might be fuse. I'll have to double check.
Yeah, in which
Either way,
case,
Look, if you have a goblin spark, it's
oh
fine.
no, it's just a case of like, major and minor actions in combat and so forth.
Oh, fair.
For what I have planned for them, I might just tie all 6 together and light the one. Like,
Yeah, that could work.
Jesus. Okay.
Absolutely. Cool. Okay. Super.
gold.
So,
and then I'm gonna go take Anki to another important national monument.
Yeah. So, where do you go?
Is it too soon to go to the Arc de Triomphe?
No, it's not.
There's another dragon. The hated red dragon has brought its young. They're already here.
I'm just imagining him crawling along the side and going, "Rah!"
Yeah,
like,
I'm kind of like he's. I'm getting him
oh,
to
it's a dragon, but it's about the size of a cat. That's
work
so
into
cute.
the stonework and stuff, and then
Yeah.
gargoyle style poke his head out.
Do you know what I actually maybe going into some church, being a guard, like some sort of design in the church, like
God,
camouflaging in with the statue, and then having the statue turning and looking at people.
Is the Notre Dame around at the moment?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
oh, it
thinking
is.
about it.
I'm just
Notre
is,
I
Dame
think it is.
Notre Dame
Oh, it
is
yeah.
around. Oh,
We're
yes.
hitting the Notre Dame.
Oh, yes.
Let's go.
Okay, so we're on day 3. Okay.
I love it. Like, we have this potentially incredibly lethal battle, and Justine is diligently reading her tome. Sylvia is diligently making spell tokens, healing potions. The two of us, like, with our respective partners, being all like, okay, we can do this. And Annelise is just going out causing fucking chaos.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
I've got my gun. I've got my
Justine's shithead familiar, like.
Absolutely amazing.
Live it up.
This is what we want. Okay. So day 3, Justine, are we doing another 15.5 hours?
We are.
Cool. Okay, super.
Can we try to do 16?
Of course you can.
Now, after 16 hours for like a couple of days straight, Justine is just going to be like, Latin can't wake her up. She'll be like falling asleep straight away. Charm, no charm roll, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
She's like,
okay, now 16 hours. Well, I mean, this is the thing. If you start at 8 and you read through till midnight, that's 16 hours.
Yep.
Okay. So that brings us up to 54.5 hours with 45.5 hours left to go. Sylvia, on day 3, what are you doing? Are you making? I assume first of all you're putting 30 mana into your mana receptacle.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that for sure.
Okay, so that brings you down to what's that? 180? Or sorry, 80?
Yeah.
Okay, super. So you have 80 mana left. Do you want to make some more tokens?
I'm wondering.
So just to put it into context here, you currently now have 5 superior healing tinctures.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So 1 each, and then one more for squishies.
Yeah.
Then we've got 3 regen tokens. What else do you reckon? Maybe a lesser bless, maybe a stony step.
I mean, lesser bless you can set up before.
A lesser bless token. A single lesser bless token is 1 hour. It's basically it's 1 hour per spell level per token.
Yeah.
This one.
Now it's just it'll just give somebody a +5 if they kind of like. I don't
Hey,
know.
it's a good fucking spell.
That's
know?
useful. I'd say if we need the nudge against a save or something.
This is it. If you're rolling to not get burned to a fucking crisp by a cone of flame, and you need a little bit of
Well, it's technically, sorry to be pedantic here, it's technically not a +5, it's a pool of 5.
Yes.
pool of 5,
Yeah.
but you can make it but it can be a difference. Like I think.
I'm just saying, like a pool of 5 is very different to a +5 because a pool of 5
You can
is a
spend it as you
lot
need
more
it.
powerful. You know, so if
Okay.
you want, you could make 3 lesser blessed tokens or 3
Yeah.
It's not even lesser blessed; just call it blessed as well. 3 blessed tokens. That's 12 mana. That takes you 3 hours.
3. Well, it would not be 6 mana because it's 2.
No, it's
one
per
spell.
spell level. Yeah, it's 1 hour per level.
Yeah.
Sorry, what did I say? 6 mana. Yeah, is that not what I said?
So what you said. Sorry, it's what you said. A lot more.
Yeah, I
than
think you
that.
said 6 mana in 3 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
6
Cool.
mana, 3
Yeah.
hours,
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
What other spells would you like to make tokens of?
What do you think, folks?
I mean,
Spell tokens are so annoyingly, obnoxiously powerful for players to have. I hate
Yeah.
them so much, but you guys keep fucking artificers, so
hey, it works. I mean, is there anything that would take a major action for you to cast that would be better for you to be able to cast it as a minor? Just
this is
thinking
a great
time
spell.
saving.
Healing spells.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
major healing.
Major healing touch would be one.
Okay,
that's
so
because we could snap it on ourselves and just give ourselves a pat.
Yeah.
So just sorry to interrupt you, Justine. That's 2 hours per spell token.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's
a minimum of 4, but you can supercharge that.
And I assume that things being that she's loading in there that are Sphere of the Wild, are they getting the boost, or is that negated because they're not technically being cast by her?
What do you mean?
Because she's got her staff. So if she were to load in a damaging spell,
well, no, because she's casting the spell on the token, so it's the same as if she casts it right now.
There you go. So you could just load in a bunch of sunbeams. Who needs grenades? You have 2 minor actions. Snap 2 sunbeam tokens. Throw them at him.
Oh my god.
You have another major action. 3 sunbeams, 1 turn.
Well, a sunbeam token would cost you would take a minimum of 5 hours.
But it would be funny.
And it's 15 mana with my staff.
Or you could load in
it would be 54 points of damage.
Yeah.
What's up, Lena?
Yeah, I'll do that actually because that's just.
I don't know if Brandon knows the Sphere of Twilight, but maybe Blink could be one, greater.
Having a blink on hand, yeah.
It's me a tangible amount of mana. So maybe it would be a good idea to have it for you, just for circumstances where I'm out of mana, or I don't know, just in case. It's nice to be able to.
Well, I mean, you're discussing
stuff.
So but discussing this with Moraine, and if you want to ask when you're discussing this, and she does ask you, well, what kind of spells are you looking for? Are you looking for offensive spells, defensive spells, or supportive spells? And what kind of spells are you looking at?
I would also say it might be worth considering loading in some polymorphs for Earth Elemental for us. So if any of us get eaten, we can quickly switch and be fine. Finer.
Well, I have it.
If
you're turn into water elemental,
if you are talking about what you're talking about is Moraine tells you that she can create spell tokens with the blink spell.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
She knows greater blink.
Oh yeah, of course she does. I'm thinking, What spells doesn't Moraine know, right? Okay, so...
There's lots of spells she doesn't know.
Yeah, the Greater Blink sounds like a good one.
Does she know Justine's Ray of Death? Because 3 of those in the town would be fun.
Yeah, she does, except when Moraine casts it's an actual fucking ray of death.
So hey.
Yeah, her intellect is 8, so like that's a lot of blasts.
That's a lot of blasts.
Oh, excuse me, mine is 5, so like, and I'm a wee little gal.
Yeah, so it's not that much.
Your intellect is 6, is it not?
No.
No, my
It
magic
will
is.
be.
Oh, okay.
It will be after she finishes reading the Tome of the Scholar.
Oh yeah.
Yep, I'll be smart.
So yes,
Great brain.
Moraine will make 3. She can make 3 Greater Blink spells, but that takes her 9 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's basically you guys done for day 3.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. So
I have some energy left, so you know.
yeah, you still have plenty of energy left. Justine, by this stage, you're getting pretty exhausted. So when your head hits the pillow, you almost immediately pass out. Okay. Day 4. How many hours are we doing, Justine?
Oof. So how many hours do I have left again?
54.5.
54.5. And it's day 4. Okay.
So this means like
54.5.
oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I'd say
this
I'll
is
try to do
apologies. This is day 5.
day 5. Oh.
So 5,
We got
day 5, day 6,
45.5
day
in chat.
7. Yeah. So unless I don't think I'm doing my maths wrong.
I think we because it was.
I thought you had 60 and then 4 days left at one point.
Oh, so you did 9 hours on the first day,
Mhm.
14 hours on the second,
Yeah.
15.5 on the third,
Mhm.
and 16 hours on the fourth.
Mhm.
So you've done.
Oh yeah, 54.5.
Sorry, yeah, you've done 54.5. You have 40. So you have 45.5 at the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's day 5. I have 5, 6, 7. So I have 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll try to do like 15.5.
Yeah. Cool. That means that you have 30 hours left to do on day 6 and 7.
Easy.
It's 15 hours each.
Easy peasy.
Job done.
Yeah. So.
And it's like I'm having it so much easier than Sylvia had it. So, you know.
Super. So, Sylvia, what are you doing? At this point, would you be thinking of contacting Heinrich?
I think I will. Yeah, I'm gonna send him a message. And so on the during this time while Justine is doing that.
So, well, you just spent the last 4 days with Moraine busy making spell tokens, while Annelise is busy getting up to fuckery with Anklegon. Okay.
I do take like some time to see if Josephine has anything of Gwyn's and.
Yeah, she did look that up, but she couldn't find anything that was substantial that would be of use to you.
I assumed as much. Otherwise, yes, getting up to fuckery.
Because Gwyn basically used to carry all her personal effects in her goblin purse.
Yeah.
So
me and Anki have set an end goal to have an artist rendition of Anklegon in the paper by the end of the week.
Excellent.
Amazing. So Sylvia is going to send Heinrich a message, and she's going to mention she might pop over to Berlin just to maybe meet him and Adelind for dinner. And I'm just going to mention like travel time is not a problem. I can travel through trees now, so it's actually I can meet you at the barracks at that big tree that like people sometimes play target practice on, but obviously after shooting has stopped.
Yeah. So Heinrich gets back to you a couple of hours later. Really excited to learn about your new ability and really excited for you to come to Berlin. Saying when would you be coming? Please let me know. I will contact Adelind and we can organize for the 3 of us to meet up as soon as you tell me.
Okay. I'm then going to send a firing off message to Annelise, and I'm just going to the message is just going to say, I am thinking about going back to visit my brother and sister. I am not sure where you live, but I can certainly take you most of the way if you wanted to, given what we are going to do.
Annelise like sees this and like sees that she still hasn't had an answer on the arcanogram she sent back home, and just kind of glances at Anki. How do you feel about a trip?
Where?
Berlin?
Could we get into one of the clubs? I've heard about the Berlin clubs.
We have some good ones, yeah.
Yeah.
We can make,
They are quite legendary.
If you are willing, if you're willing to come with, we can hit a couple of clubs, find a beer house or something.
Absolutely.
Okay, let us do it. Okay. You will need to be my eyes. There might be people there who will try and, I don't know, get me in a lot of trouble. I'll message back Sylvia and just go, I would be happy to accompany if you're open to the offer.
So, well, you're discussing this with Moraine. Moraine tells you that she can literally just teleport you to Annelise whenever you want.
Okay, cool.
Not again, please.
Fuck's sake. So I'm gonna get back to Heinrich and say maybe this evening we could go for dinner.
He's kind of here, probably like, I was not expecting that soon, but I will contact our sister and let her know straight away.
Like said, walk through trees. If you want to meet for lunch, we can. Like
I know, but still.
I was giving Adeline the chance to get herself kind of sorted.
Getting a quick reply, okay. So yeah, telling Moraine that you're ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her a kiss and just you know, I will be back to see you before we leave to deal with the Trask, but I do need to see my family.
Of course, no, absolutely.
Not my parents, but my brother and my sister, anyway.
Of course. So yeah, giving you a kiss, she uses her magic, and a moment later, Sylvia is appearing in front of you, Annelise. It's like probably about like 1:30, 2. Where are you?
Which national monument are we defacing today? You probably find us like near some sort of like parliamentary house of some sort. I'm not as familiar with the geography of Paris, and we're just like, or no, we're probably near a printing press.
Okay.
And I'm trying to like start laying seeds, and you just find us like in a compromising position trying to break into a printing press or something.
Okay, right.
That would be so funny if you were like, I just imagine Annelise and Anki just like becoming anarchists and just terrorizing politicians.
Yeah, I mean, hey, given the opportunity, it could happen.
So yeah, Sylvia, you appear seeing Annelise and Anclagon looking like they're trying to break into a building.
Hello.
Hey. Hello. You have been busy, I see.
I don't actually know how to pick locks. I just thought it would. I thought just kind of.
I'm afraid neither do I.
Okay, well, I mean, I could just blink on the other side.
Sylvia's gonna like look up, just trying to figure out what kind of building they're trying to break into, because like what the fuck.
Anclagon and I appear to be in charge of Anclagon for the time. Well, not in charge. I should not say that. Anclagon is in charge of themselves. I am in Anclagon's care for the, I don't know, foreseeable future, perhaps.
Oh well, yeah. Justine is busy.
Has she been messaging you? I get hints. I get a little hint. She's
I have heard nothing. I wanted to give her her privacy. I figured that.
I did not reach out. She reached out to me, so I cannot claim. You know.
I'm gonna take out little like dried meat, and I'm gonna feed Anki some dried meat because I know he likes it.
Yeah, cool, super.
I hope you haven't been getting into too much mischief looking at Anki.
Anki gives you this like really cutesy who me kind of look.
Never. We've been, it's been really relaxed. We've had some time in some cafes, share some pastries, some worldly talk about politics and faith, some things like this. It's been lovely, really. No trouble at all. Have you read the papers lately?
No, I've been in the Trunke Forest.
Oh, okay.
Haven't been anywhere. I've been working.
I'm sure you have.
well as yes, I have been.
okay.
Okay, Sylvia is going to take out the
Healing tinctures, the spell tokens. You've got a lot of shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna So I made this for you as well, and also this in case you seriously injure yourself, like a broken bone or something. And then this will also, if that bless spells that I have. I said, I have been working.
So
okay, all right. We're seeing
you
the
get
fruits
to
of your labor.
you get to add
Sylvia is just gonna
a regeneration, bless, and greater blink spell tokens to your and another standard healing tincture to your character sheet, because I assume you gave another one to Annelise, did you?
Yeah, and I'll be giving Justine the extra one as well.
So you'll have one, they have two each.
Standard or supreme?
Obviously, I have not just been working, but I have been working. I was thinking, I don't know, I need to see my family, well, my brother and my sister anyway, before we go. I don't know where in Prussia you live, but I can certainly get you to Berlin.
Berlin is fine. I'm a little ways, not a long ways north. Depending on where you get us, I could likely walk there or take a cab of some sort.
If you wanted, I could turn you into a bird and you could fly there much faster, but you would be stuck in that form for 6 hours. Oh no, I can voluntarily drop the spell, I'm sure.
Yes, of course.
You wouldn't know when I needed it dropped, I imagine.
Yeah, so
it's fun. It would be nice to kind of walk the streets again. I've not been back to Berlin. Well, I suppose likely as long as you have.
Yeah, me neither. And I just don't want. Well, you know yourself. I don't. There are people I don't want to bump into, but
yeah, I will.
I can deal with it if I do. I'm gonna actually send Heinrich a message and say we're gonna actually go to Berlin now. I'll see you. Oh wait, I'm not gonna go to the barracks because if I have Annelise,
please don't take me to the barracks.
I'm gonna go to a nice big tree in a park, a major park in Berlin.
Okay,
that's kind of near the barracks, but not.
Yeah,
here's this wanted deserter.
Yeah, super. Okay, so then we'll say that with Sylvia and Annelise heading towards one of the parks in Paris where they have the large tree, so you can cast your tree stride spell. Sylvia planning on going back to Berlin to see her brother and her darling sister. Annelise planning on going to Berlin so her and Anki can get into Berghain. I think this is a perfect place to take a very quick pause in our story.
This is happening. What a fucking
international.
Berghain or the Kit Kat Club. It's one or the other, okay?
Someone in chat suggested the Moulin Rouge while we were still in Paris.
Yeah, it's not built yet.
Yeah, it was built in the
late 1890.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I thought it was 84 or something, but yeah, it's like a good 10 plus years to go.
Yeah.
Anyway, folks,
we actually did look.
We did look. We'll be back.
Absolutely.
We're only going to be going for 5 minutes. Quick bio bakes and refreshments. Don't go anywhere too soon, and we shall see you shortly. Okay. Hello, folks, and welcome back. My name is Neil. My pronouns are still he, him, and I am still the lunatic who decided to create this indie TTRPG set in an alternate 19th century Earth where all the creatures from folklore and fairy tale are real, have always been real, and live alongside humanity. When last we left our heroes, they've been very busy. Well, some of them. Justine has been powering through reading the Tome of the Scholar, an enchanted fey tome that will, once she has completed it, provided she completes it, requiring 100 hours of reading in no more than 7 days, her intellect score will permanently increase by +1. Um, and was there something else with that? Oh, you also gain a +1 bonus to the memory and reading talents.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
Sylvia, spending her time with her beloved girlfriend Moraine Le Fay, a ridiculously powerful elven sorceress, has been very, very busy making more healing tinctures and also working with Moraine to make spell tokens. Simple discs enchanted with a spell, which, if you snap as a minor action, activates the spell for you. She made several extremely powerful regeneration spells that will, because of the amount of mana that she spent in the casting, with assistance from Moraine, instantly heal the most grievous of injuries. Injuries that would take 12 weeks to recover from naturally. Um, Also making a number of very useful, less powerful, but still very useful minor spells, blesses, and greater blink spells. Annelise has been babysitting Anklegon, Justine's terrifying fairy dragon familiar, while Justine has been busy with her studying of both faith theories on intellect and studying Italian theories on romance and relationships. Um, Anki and Annalise have been getting up to all sorts of mischief and fuckery, visiting such places as the Louvre, Notre Dame de Paris, I think Pierre Lachaise, basically doing everything they could to get Anki to appear in the papers. But now Sylvia and Annalise have, using Sylvia's tree stride spell, traveled to Berlin, planning to meet up with family, talk to them before engaging in a battle which may end their lives. So you appear out of the tree in the park in Berlin. A few people are walking by, instantly stop and gasp as you guys step out of a magical doorway in a fucking tree.
hmm I was
And,
going to go to the barracks, but I obviously changed my mind.
oh, scheiße, Sylvia. Do you want to just turn me in already? My God.
Absolutely not, of course.
You see,
Of
like,
course I don't.
Annalise has been dropping her guard around. You see, like, her shoulders are a little bit higher than they used to be. She's like immediately like any like guards around? No, anyone in the constabulary? No, we're okay.
Sylvia is just gonna put a hand on her shoulder and just say, "I know, I haven't been here in so long, and well, there are people I don't want to bump into, but
No, I understand. Yeah.
okay, so I'm going to go. Maybe we could meet up this evening, maybe later tonight, and I could take us back to Paris.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. I was about to ask how long you want to stay. Obviously, if plans change, send me.
Yeah,
We have each other's messages. You send me a message.
exactly.
If you decide to stay the night, I can find board.
Oh, I have nowhere to stay. I couldn't
Ask your
possibly
brother. I'm
impose my
sure.
in the barracks. I'm not.
Uh,
I can't go back there after
You
everything.
guys are stinking rich. You are
yeah, we
part of the
can.
1%.
If you want to stay for the, I know Anklegon wants to get up to a little mischief in the, in a couple of the clubs.
Oh,
So
to practice your lock picking skills.
I don't think we'll have to lockpick our way in, but if necessary, we can wait.
Well, why don't you contact me when you are ready to come home, and I will make arrangements.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Give
Obviously,
me notice.
hopefully it won't be sort of an emergency thing, but there might be a chance where, someone says the wrong thing to someone and suddenly says a Fuhrman hunt for me, but we should be fine.
Well, call me and I will.
I'd be all right. I'm much better at hiding than I used to be. They would have trouble catching me if needed. So, what do you plan to see? Is it good
Heinrich
Major?
and also my sister. I haven't seen her since I left, so
Oh, lovely.
I'm going to go to the barracks and
It'll be okay. It'll be good. It'll be okay. I'm
no,
sure I couldn't. If you want company, I could
no,
arrange for him to
no,
come.
you
Or...
need to. I think
I
it's
know.
safer if you don't.
Okay. Okay. Then,
Okay.
if you need it, I can. I'm happy to. I can put on, I don't know, a hat or something.
I'm just going to be brave and.
God, you forget how different the air is here. It feels strange, nostalgic.
Go eat some cured meats. Have fun.
Oh my God, you're right. I am going to find a curing immediately. Enjoy your dinner. If anything happens, I will let you know. And
Yeah.
please do the same.
Yeah. Okay, Sylvia's gonna take a deep breath and go to the barracks.
Right, you get to the barracks. It takes you like, I don't know, 20 minutes or whatever. And coming up to the front of it, obviously there's a guard outside. You do not recognize him. He looks to be quite young.
Hello, I am here to see Major Heinrich Bauer. He is expecting me, but not for another few hours. But
May I ask what this is in relation to?
I'm his sister.
Ah, of course.
I might be dying in a week.
And he looks at you really confused. And he goes into the little kiosk beside him to an arcanogram, which he writes a message.
Please don't tell him that I said I would be dying in a week. Oh my god.
And,
She's dying in a week.
about maybe 6 to 7 minutes later, you guys just standing there awkwardly looking at each other. You hear a voice shouting out, and looking, you see Heinrich coming towards you.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna give him a huge hug.
Okay, you run up to him, give him a big hug. He gives you a big hug back. Oh, it's so good to see you, sister.
I told you that I couldn't walk through a tree, so I did. And I'm here.
You literally came here through a tree.
I did, yes. So also, I'm gonna hold up the staff. This helps.
What is that?
So
Is that a living tree?
well, no, it's a artifact. When we went into the Elven Palace, I found it, and it boosts my powers. So,
As if you weren't already powerful enough.
well, I need every ounce that I can get for what's ahead.
Are you still going through with this madness?
We have to. Who else is going to?
The French army?
Yeah, but you saw the French army open fire on that dragon, and it did nothing. Also, I was there on that day. I saw, well, I didn't see, but thousands of soldiers died.
I
in
remember.
an instant. So, it will have to be us.
You dying won't bring them back.
No, but at least I have to at least try. Someone has to try.
Why does it have to be my little sister?
But who else is volunteering?
No one else is foolish enough to volunteer for this madness.
Well, then the dragon is going to kill us all. So this is how it works. I'm sorry.
I just come with me. I need to do some things, and then we'll head to we'll head to Adelaide's.
She is going to get such a shock.
Well, I mean, she knows you're alive, so.
Yeah, but
Oh, I know what Adeline's like.
Yeah, but I'm glad I have this ability now.
So
yes, I will let you work.
Yeah, he goes back to his office and he's spends the next 25-30 minutes doing random stuff, paperwork and stuff and that.
Do I see anybody I recognize?
Give me an awareness roll.
Oh. I mean, I'm not wearing the elven mail, so I'm not looking completely fucking outlandish.
Why are you not wearing the elven mail?
Because we're not fighting.
Okay, cool. It's in your goblin purse?
Yeah. Well, it's in the ring of hoarding, but yeah.
Yeah, you're in your hoarding. Just to be aware, if you did need to put that on,
it's a major action.
no, fuck no. A major action.
Yeah. Okay.
Suzanne,
no,
Drawing armor takes.
Suzanne,
no, I'm
you
just gonna
own
say
the
I've worn
mail.
mail. I know.
You
Yeah.
own
Okay.
a mail shirt. It's not a major action. It will take you at least a minute.
Yeah. It takes.
At least a minute, maybe
at
two,
least a minute.
to put on a shirt of mail. And
I'd say one because I don't need to put on a belt. So yeah.
well, that's true. We are for Chad. We are speaking from personal experience, as both of us own mail shirts from our days of reenactment.
But this doesn't weigh 9 kilos. Ha 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 ha.
That's a good point.
No, it weighs 4 or 5 kilos. It's it's crazy light.
So I only rolled an 8, so that's a 10.
No, you don't see anyone.
That's fine.
What I will say with that awareness roll is the one thing you are noticing is that a lot of the soldiers here look extremely young.
Yeah, like really younger than. Yeah, okay, cool.
A lot.
Oh yeah, well they do a big recruitment drive because they lost nearly everybody in the fucking war.
90% of the Prussian forces were destroyed in the battle. It was a devastating loss. Like the kind of casualties the kind of casualties a nation hasn't faced since the classical era, you know?
Yeah, no. So like, I'm trying not to look at anybody. I'm just like.
So yeah, eventually after about half an hour or so, he comes and says, "Okay, let's go to Addie's," and you guys head out. You jump in a cab and you head to your sister Adeline's house, which obviously you would have been to numerous times before.
Yeah, well, after each of her children, so she has 3 kids. She was pregnant with her third when Sylvia left.
Yeah.
So I guess it'd be about 2 now, 2.5.
Yeah.
But she would have gone over, as was the way the unmarried sister would have gone over after a baby was born, stayed for a few weeks to help out.
Yes, that you were there for about a month after each baby was born.
Yeah, so I've been, and I would have gone there quite a lot. They're quite close.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, you get to her house. She lives in a pretty nice part of the city. Going up the steps, knocking on the front door. A moment later, a maid opens the door.
Yes, she has a maid because I sent her a ton of money.
Well, she would have had a maid anyway. Actually, no, they wouldn't have because he's a carpenter.
They wouldn't have. He's a carpenter. Christoph's a carpenter.
Yeah.
So.
And also, this is not her house that you're used to. This is a much nicer house than the one they live in. Because you sent her a shit ton of money. How much did you send her again? It was 200 gold or something crazy like that.
Something like that, and then I sent a dwarven chest.
Yeah, so basically,
I fully plan on giving her another shit ton of money today. Because,
so this is a much nicer house than the one that they had. Way nicer.
Okay.
Yeah, they are in a pretty fancy, not the most elite, upper class, poshest parts of Berlin, but this is a nice part of Berlin.
Okay. This is a nice house.
But anyway, when the maid opens the door and instantly recognizes your brother, Major Bauer, and she's waiting for it. Excuse me, sorry, this is mine, and this is our sister, Sylvia. And the maid's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Fräulein Bauer. I've heard so much about you. I'm so sorry. Please, I'm Etty. Please. And she steps aside to let you both in. And stepping into the hall of this really nice house, you suddenly see your niece.
Okay.
And she looks at you and looks like she's being really shy. She doesn't fully recognize you because it's been a while since you have seen each other. Been nearly 2 years since you last saw her.
Yeah, so she's probably full on who is this person?
But she does recognize her uncle.
Helena, you have never been shy a day in your life. It's Sylvia.
And it's like
I'm gonna hunker down.
squinting.
I'm gonna hunker down and I'm gonna like make a little
And then as you hunker,
I'm gonna give her a flower.
so as you do that, there was a moment of she was slowly recognizing you, but then when you literally cast that spell in front of her, she like screams,
Oh no!
and you hear the sounds of footsteps as your sister comes rushing out, and she said, "What's going?" Sylvia, and just runs at you, and like you just barely manage to fully stand upright as she barrels into you with this massive bear hug.
I'd say she
And she's
probably
like,
knocks me down.
"Oh, she doesn't quite knock you down, but you nearly are knocked down. You kind of knock into Heinrich as she pulls you. Like,
it's been a very long time since I've been
I
grabbing a
thought
bear hug.
you were dead for so long. We all thought you were dead." And she's like, you can barely breathe. She's hugging you so
she's
tight.
surprisingly strong as
She's
well.
a mother
like,
running around after kids, so she's gonna be strong, you know. Like, but she's like crying into your shoulder as she pulls you in, because you guys were quite close, you know.
Yeah, not as close as she's
not as close as she or you are to Heinrich, but you are still fairly close, you know.
But we kind of were, the three of us would be really close because Sylvia's parents are terrible people. So
Exactly. And she turns to her daughter and says, "Come over here and give your Auntie Sylvia a hug and a kiss." And
she doesn't have to if she doesn't.
She does have to give you a hug and a kiss. As she grabs her, her daughter comes in, she grabs her by the shoulder and shoves her into you.
Elena, come here. Let me look at you. She looks more like Kristoff now.
That's a horrible thing to say.
He's what? You married him. You don't think he's that hideous?
No, that's true. Anyway, let's go inside.
Yes, your house is lovely.
Well, I have a very generous relative who gave me an obscene amount of money. Where did you get that money? It's more money than I would ever see in a lifetime.
I know.
I couldn't believe it when that chest arrived.
I know. What has Heinrich told you?
Not much. She glares at him.
Okay, well,
he kind of shrugs his shoulders and well, what the fuck was I supposed to say kind of gesture, you know?
Yeah, okay, well, I'm trying to remember. It's been such a crazy time. We got,
Where do you want to start? The giant killer snail, the dire wolves, the ogre? As she's looking at Heinrich, ogre? Sylvia? Ogre?
Oh, that is nothing compared to
what do you mean that is nothing? It's an ogre. And your niece is like, "Oh, you saw an ogre?"
I did.
Just you wait till she tells you about the werewolves.
Tell you about the what?
The werewolves.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Was it really scary?
It was, but you know, my friends are also very powerful and they kept me safe. So I'm fine.
Are you a witch?
No, I'm not a witch. I'm a druid now.
What's a druid?
So druids work with nature and they can... So she's going to make a little flower and hand it.
Are you a moistlighter?
No, but I trained this one.
Oh, you know a moistlighter?
I do.
I've always wanted to see a moistlighter. Are they really pretty?
Yeah, they are. And you know, my friend Annelise, one of her ancestors was a moistlighter.
Oh, that's a really pretty stick you have.
It is. I got it when at this point she's like, oh shit. I got it when I went into an elven palace.
At which point, Adden is like, when you went into a what?
I told you it
Wait.
has been.
What? Hold on. In France? You went
Yeah,
into
so
one of the haunted elven palaces in France?
I don't recommend doing it. I'm just gonna.
At this stage, you've gone into a very, very nice dining room, and you can see it's
Hmm,
laid out for a meal. There's no food on the table, but it's
yeah.
laid out for a meal. And
Well, I don't know what
at
I'm meant.
this moment, just one of the doors pushes open, and this small, really, really fat, chubby little, about 2-year-old child with the rolls comes waddling in with an older brother behind them, like, waddling along. They're walking, but they have to be careful. And you see your nephew, and your little baby nibbling. Um, as your nephew's like, Auntie Sylvia.
Yeah, come here to me.
I
Let
just
me look
run
at
straight
you.
at you and jumps
You
up
have
to the
gotten
hug.
so big and
I
so
know
tall.
I'm so big and strong like my daddy.
Are you going to make furniture like your father?
I don't know. I think I want to be maybe a brave soldier like my uncle Heinrich. And you see
Oh,
Heinrich's face darkens when he says this, of course.
well,
And Addie's face darkens
hmm,
because, like, they know what it means to be a soldier. They thought they'd
well,
lost their sister in the war.
Mikkel, you will have to wait until you are a little bit older, and
But
it
look
can be
how
very
tall I
dangerous.
am. Look how big I've
You're
got.
so tall, but you need to
I'm
be careful.
taller than you. Shut up, you! And
Oh, well, um, I'm sure if you
that's such a
eat your
cool
vegetables,
stick. Is
it
that a
is
magic stick?
it is a magic stick.
Are you a witch? No, she's a moist lighter.
I'm
That's so
no,
cool.
my
You're a moist lighter?
no, I was taught by a Musleute. A Musleute taught me magic.
Magic. My
So
auntie's magic.
yeah, which
Show me a spell.
Pinecone grenade.
do I look like a fucking performing monkey?
Show me a
Um,
spell. You said you're magic. Show me a spell.
okay, I'm gonna make the staff light up.
No, mommy, no, stop! And your little dude, he's waddling over to you and he's trying to reach for the staff.
Okay.
He's
Well, I'm
drooling
just
everywhere.
yeah.
Adeline
Yeah,
goes and picks him up and says, "It's okay." And she brings him up closer so he can actually reach up to try and feel the light of the staff.
it's not hot. It's perfectly safe. He'll be fine. And I'm just gonna put my hand on it because it's fine. So, well, I don't know how suitable my story is for young ears, but
Maybe not. We'll give them the edited version.
well, I met some friends in a village in France. My friend Mina was looking for her brother. And there were fae coming to the forest around the village, and we stayed there for a while. And so that was the ogre, the snail, and all of that. Then we went to Cambrai, and there was a very bad sorcerer who was making people soldiers be soldiers for him, and that was bad. So, but and then we found Mina's brother. My friend, I was traveling with her, I'm kind of glancing over at the kids, like, oh, I'm gonna skirt over that. Then, just we went into, well, we fought one of my friends fell in love with a man who turned out to be a bit of a monster. So we dealt with that. That is where I got some money that I sent you. But now, well, see, I want to talk about the dragon, but I'm just going to use the lesser telepathy cantrip, and I'm going to say to Alan, the dragon, one of the dragons that was evoking in the war, has come back, and we need to go and deal with that.
When well, first of all, she has a stark look on her face when she hears your voice in her head, but then
I
as
don't
you
want
tell
to
the
say this in
message,
front of the children.
her voice pales. Says, "Okay, children, I think we're going to start dinner soon. Let's all sit down. Your daddy's going to be home very soon." And like she's trying to clamor and getting the kids to sit down and behave themselves. And then within 5 minutes, her husband does arrive in from work, and you all sit down for a very, very lovely meal with the kids pestering you, asking you loads of questions about ogres and about fairies and about magic, and they keep
Oh, I'm
asking
going
you
to tell
who's
them the
pals.
story of Astrid and Delacour.
Okay.
Because that's like perfectly fine. Because they were in.
I mean, let's not forget, you are German. German fairy tales were horrific.
Oh yeah, actually,
Like
yeah.
they were actually like traumatic.
Murders, kidnappings, transformations. It's not
Yeah,
great.
Okay,
children being eaten alive. Like actual German fairy tales were horrifying.
Yeah, that's true. I kind of forgot.
They were
Yeah.
cautionary tales.
Yeah. So I might tell the story of the werewolves and that we, and then that we did go into the abandoned Fey Palace. I'll tell that story too.
Cool. Yeah. Your like brother-in-law, he's being as charming and as not polite and nice as asking you questions, but like letting you speak. Eventually, shortly after the dinner, the kids are getting very tired. Adeline puts them all up to bed, and comes back down and says, "Okay, who'd like a drink?"
Oh, yes, please. Thank you.
Okay.
That would be amazing.
Well, we have sherry, we have schnapps. What would you like?
Oh, do you have any whiskey, please?
Whiskey. You really have changed. Darling, do you have any?
Oh, sherry would be fine. Otherwise, I just, my taste buds are ruined from Ulrich's gutrots that you used to make. So anything is fine.
I'm trying to, and he's like, yeah, he's like trying to think, about, and he does say said that, well, we have some digestive, so
Sure.
think like the precursor to Jägermeister.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Yeah.
Well,
No,
which would have been commonly drank, even back then. So you get a bottle of digestive, and you all have some. As Adeline goes,
you know what? It wasn't brewed in a crate with
Yeah. So and Adeline just said, so what is this about a dragon? And I said, don't get me started. She's going to fight a dragon, and your brother gasps. He's like, what? What?
Well, not on my own.
Are you doing it with the army?
No, but Heinrich was there in Paris when the dragon appeared. They opened fire on it. It did nothing. It broke.
So what are you going to do then?
Well, I have my magics. My friends have magic, and guns and a magic rifle this time. So it should be more doable, and also
Sylvia, I thought you were dead, and I've gotten you back. Why must you do this?
Well,
Why can't someone else fight this monster?
But who is going to? You see, elves can't interfere.
The French
The
army, it's in France.
Yeah, but what French armies? Their forces were almost completely destroyed, just
And
like
it's,
the Prussian
yes, it was the
army.
same with us. Our army, honestly, I'm amazed the Austrians haven't tried to invade. I know
Oh,
there's been talk of movement near Munich. Um,
look, I have made some well temporary magical items with help, of course, because I'm not an artificer, but thankfully I know uh, one who has helped me. But as I said, the elves, they cannot interfere. There are rules, and then also, well, a lot of the dragons young were slain. They're angry, I can't blame them, and it's just a messy situation for everyone. I don't want to die, of course, but I have to do this, you know?
they're very unhappy with this.
Yeah, I know. If I don't go, then my friends will have to go without me, and they need a healer, and I have to at least try. I would be okay anyhow. I have some tricks, and
Yes, you're a druid.
mm, and
I
the
just
druid the druids are supposed to be emissaries. I'm not part of the organization. I'm more on the outside. I'm more neutral.
my quiet little sister
Mm,
would have always did what mother and father told her. Now a
mm.
fearsome
Yeah, the look their obedience got
warrior
me. Come
fighting
on.
a dragon.
Yeah, but look where being
This is
obedient
just
got me.
nonsense. Like, do you understand how nonsensical this sounds? It's a dragon.
I know. And it's the same dragons that killed Lisbeth and all my friends. So,
No.
I feel like,
Are you sure? How could you, like, how do you know?
well, I saw it,
Oh no.
So
I'm
Heinrich was there on the anniversary.
so sorry.
So is the dragon like,
We all loved Elizabeth.
I know. Which point Sylvia is gonna kind of look a little bit guilty, and she's not looking at anybody at this point. uh,
Well, when is this battle occurring? How long are you going to be here in Berlin?
I don't know. Well, I was probably going to go back to Paris. I know that
Yeah, when
there'll
are
be.
you thinking of going back to Paris in the morning?
Well, I can go after later tonight, I
What are you talking?
suppose.
The trains? There's no trains to Paris at night.
Oh, well, I use my magics to travel. It's not a
What?
problem.
You're gonna what?
I can basically walk through a tree, so it's.
What?
Yeah, I messaged Heinrich this morning, and appeared in Berlin, and I'm going to walk back. It's not a problem for me. Um,
This is
sorry, I've
madness.
I've just gotten used
This
to.
is
Oh,
madness.
I do have something, and Sylvia's gonna pull out the fairy globe.
Oh, what is that? Is that a fairy globe?
Yeah, it was in the Elven Palace, and I thought the children would like it.
Are you serious?
It's
They would
it's
love it.
sturdy. It's sturdy. It
No, I
shouldn't.
know.
It
Like,
won't break.
I mean, I know the wealthy families often buy them as toys for their children. They'd love this.
Mm.
Thank you, Sylvia. This is so generous of you.
Well, it was in the Elven Palace. And actually, Viling, here, I'm going to give her like 300 gold.
So you start taking it. So you basically start taking
No,
it.
I'm going to like have it, if I've counted it beforehand, have it in a bag. And just
so you just take it in the bag. You put the bag. What's this?
Just some more money because
No, you gave us more than we could get. No, what are you talking about? And she goes and pulls and she when she pulls it up and sees the stack of gold,
it's all gold.
What? This looks like even more than you gave me the last time.
Well,
how could you? I can't take what? I can't take this.
Well,
what do you know? I can't. This is more money than I can ever take from you. This is no. No, and she's trying to push it.
Sylvia's gonna like push.
As Heinrich turns out, like, you must understand, our sister is, richer than the imperial family in Vienna, with all of these elves and dragons she's been fighting and slaying.
It was one elf, and
of course,
and her sister intervened and stopped the fight, thankfully. So
wait, is this the same sister that I heard about?
Yeah, the situation was very messy, but it's fine now. I'm basically gonna say so. Justine, my friend Habraza, had fallen in love with this beautiful woman, but then cut contact with his family, which was very out of character. So Justine was looking for him. She found us, and we were going to help her, but this was in the village of Cherville, and then I'm just going to tell her the whole thing that happened with Melisande and Moraine. And
come on, that sounds horrid.
Well, Melisande Moraine told her to go back to their parents, and I haven't seen her, so it's fine.
So you fought ogres, werewolves, and elves.
Well, among other things, but yeah. So.
And now you're going to fight a dragon.
Yeah, so just take some money, Adelind. It's fine. Please.
This is unbelievable. This is more than...
I'm just gonna give her a hug at this point because, like, it's my big sister. And Sylvia used to be a big hugger before everything happened.
And it feels nice to be given Adelind a hug. It's kind of something that you'd missed, Right. So, well, you spend as long as you want at Adelind's, having a very, very lovely, enjoyable evening with her still constantly giving out to you because you're going to fight a dragon.
I'm gonna give her the unsanitized version of everything that's happened.
Oh, she's horrified. She's absolutely horrified.
And I am going to tell her about Moraine at this point.
She's very intrigued by that, but horrified at all of the things that have happened, the many, many dangers that you've faced, the various battles that you fought in. She can't believe this. And then when you tell her about Moraine, she says, "So honestly, well, first of all, I was shocked when we discovered you were alive, because we knew Elizabeth had died.
Yeah,
we thought that we assumed you were dead, but your body, like so many others, was just lost and unrecognizable. To discover you were alive, that was a shock. To discover that you have let yourself love again is a miracle. To learn that you are now going to throw your life away in a reckless endeavor fighting a monster of legend and nightmare is madness. When you have a new love in your life, why would you do this? You have the love of an elven princess. You are like a character from a fairy tale.
She's not a princess
She
as
is an
such.
elf who lives in a palace. In what way is that not a princess?
I suppose, yeah. Well,
And you're going to
and
throw that all away by being some fool hero fighting a beast of flame and death?
well, I am at least immune to flame and
How are you
poisons.
immune to flames?
So, well, I magical items, and I'll show her the ring that I have.
So you have magic rings, you have magic staffs.
Yeah. So,
All you need is a magic brain to replace the brain that you have that thinks this is a good idea.
oh, I know it's a terrible idea, but
Then why are you doing it?
because someone has to. I don't want
Why
to
does
see.
that someone have to be you?
Because I don't want to see you and the children under the thumb of a revenge-consumed ancient dragon. And the army is not going to do anything. They can't.
Yeah, it's more that we can't than that we won't. Honestly, those creatures were terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, a few lucky strikes with our artillery shells could maybe down one of these beasts, but
The armor they have.
anyway. So, you do have you do actually like, as much as Adeline is giving out to you, you know this is from a place of love and
100%. So I'm not like.
overwhelming. She doesn't want her little sister, who she had mourned for over a year, thinking she was dead, and then came back to life in this miraculous gift, to now be dead again. You know, for her,
Yeah.
this is an unthinkable act, and this is but she's like, she just keeps going up to you and she keeps giving you hugs throughout the night. It's almost like she's checking that you're real, that you're actually
Yeah.
there alive with her in her fabulous house that you paid for. And then a
Mhm.
few times she looks over at the money and just like glares at you, muttering, and this is a stupid amount of money for more than like, shouldn't be. And although her husband does say, just think of the schools that our children can go into. She's like,
Oh, and also if because I have the arcane spark, there is reason to think your children might as well. So if
none of us had it, and I know our idiot brother thinks he's magical, but
yeah, well, that's because your mother keeps telling him that he's useful. But if you ever wanted to send them to university, you could. So
you have a lovely, as I say, evening of
yeah,
genuine, like a wonderful time with your family, and it's really great to catch up with them, and you
super
feel
super
so
wholesome.
great. So, Annelise, when you and
Yes,
Sylvia separate,
this is like I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, we'll see. Around what time of day is it?
it was late afternoon when you guys arrived in Berlin.
I'm gonna go pick up some good bread and some good cured meats, and wait until it's about like 5-6 p.m.
Yeah, cool.
Got a little bit
You're not
proper
waiting
German
too long, but yeah, cool.
Yeah. And then I'll jump in a cab and head towards Grunewald, which is one of the wealthier areas of Berlin, backing onto a forest, which Emily spent a lot of time in as a kid. And just get into the cab and just go, Guten Abend, could you take me to the Nicole estate in Grunewald?
They don't even bat an eye, start heading that way. Once they get into Gunnevad, you have to give them some directions because they wouldn't necessarily know where each estate is. But in about 25-30 minutes you get there.
Once we're out of the cab, I'm going to just look at Anglagon. I haven't cast a spell at this point because I'm running short on uses. Let's go.
Well, don't forget, it would have reset, so I don't know how many times you've cast.
I'll spend one then. I'll spend one. Let's go. Anclegon,
I think you have 3. Sorry for interrupting. I think it's 3 per day you get, isn't it?
3 per day because of
Yeah.
my current.
Yeah, because of your lineage. Yeah.
Anclegon, I know we said we're going to go to some clubs, but I could not miss the opportunity to see at least some of my family. I hope you don't mind the mind the bother.
No.
But,
Oh God, no, it's fine. Of course. Would you like me to hide myself, or do you think they'd like dragon?
Romilda would very much like a dragon. Talita would be fine. If you see a girl with sort of a mousy bob, maybe try hide from her. Katrine is a little shrill. She might screech.
Highly strung, as they used to say in this era.
Yeah. Hence. Okay. I don't know if I want to go straight in the entrance. Running into my father could be a little tense. I know. And I'm going to circle around the back of the estate and use my ring to jump through the gates. And so I'm like up against the back of the manor.
Mhm.
And then use it again to throw myself into my old bedroom.
Mhm.
And just kind of, it's dark and untouched and dusty. Maybe a couple of my sisters might have come through a couple times just to.
No, it looks pretty untouched.
I'll look around. Oh, strange to be in a place that is meant to be familiar, but also not. Kind of draw some lines in the dust. Glance at my old wardrobe and open it up and just take out a few of my favorite dresses and start stowing them into my bag just for back in France. Okay. At this time, everyone should be home. Vata might be down at the barracks still. Okay. Let's try and see if Talita's in. I'm going to exit my door and just poke a head out, try and see if any staff are around or anything.
You don't see anybody.
Were lights on as I approached?
Oh yeah, like there's lights or
Okay.
like
All right. Okay, good. And I'm gonna kind of. I haven't changed, so I'm still wearing my mail underneath my military coat. And I kind of try to come out stealthily and make my way to.
Is your rifle slung over your shoulder?
Yes. I have not disarmed.
So you go to her bedroom and opening it, it's exactly the same as you remember it. The fine bed, the wardrobes, the little table with the wash basin, her little vanity table with her collections of perfumes and some rouges, but there's no sign of your sister there.
I glance at the wash basin and just smile slightly, remembering the amount of times that she patched me up here after training sessions go. Ah, okay. She might have snuck out again. Scheiße. Pull away, and I'm gonna head to this time of day. Romilda might be in the conservatory, so I'm gonna try and sneak downstairs and make my way to conservatory and try and. I don't want to try and run into Katrine because she's the one who will likely spill the beans the soonest. So it's going to be a bit more of a trip. I'll try and, using my ring where necessary, blink my way towards the conservatory and see if Romilda's up painting, maybe.
Okay, you get to the conservatory. You don't see anybody there. Now, I will say it's later in the evening now. It's getting close to 7, so they could be getting ready to sit down for dinner.
Scheiße.
Your father would often be arriving in just before dinner,
Oh, how could I forget? He ran such a regiment in this place. Yeah, dinner would be starting soon. Okay. Well, I mean, in for it, copper. Anclegon, how do you feel about a dramatic entrance?
I love dramatic entrances. I'm exceedingly good at them.
Well, let's make it a good one. And I'm gonna
Shit!
he is. I love it. He's the best. I'm gonna find just a mirrored surface that I don't know, Romilda might have used to set up lighting or something. I quickly check myself.
Yeah.
I don't have a comb of cleanliness, so I try and fix myself where I can. Straighten my jacket, dust myself off. Glance at the rifle on my shoulder. Strap it tighter onto my shoulder. And then just nod and head towards the dining hall.
Okay.
I'm
Anchor
not
got-
going to enter. I'm going to stalk and try and see if I can start picking up voices or something.
So you get to the dining hall and you do hear some voices, okay? You hear the voice of Talitha. You hear also the voice of Katrine. And there could be a third voice, you're not sure. But you don't hear any masculine voices.
Huh. Thought I might be away. Yeah, as good a time as any. And I'm gonna take hold of the handles and push the door open and walk in as though I'd just come home.
So, stepping in, you see your two sisters, Katrine and Talitha, sitting at the table in discussion. It looks like dinner hasn't been served yet, but will be served soon. And they both turn and gasp as they see you.
Schwesterlein, you look well.
Annelise, what are you doing here?
It's been a long year. I am in some danger. Not presently, but I will be. I wanted to come.
Yes, you are a deserter.
Yeah, I am grateful that. My father's not in the room.
No, he's not there yet.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I was worried of running into water. Yeah, in that sense, I am in some danger now. But I am alive. I wanted to come and see you all. Perhaps it was foolish. I don't mean to intrude. I've missed you all so terribly.
Where have you been? The last we heard, you had abandoned your soldiers in the war.
You heard about that?
Everyone heard about it.
Scheiße, I was hoping they'd noticed.
Father, of course, with his connections, of course we knew.
I was hoping he would just brush me off and assume me dead.
No, your body was no. It was.
I've fought with the dragon attacks.
Apparently, another officer saw you run just before the attack, just bore the dragon appeared.
Scheiße, I should have. Okay, well, I am. I suppose I feel all the crueler then. I had assumed that you simply would have thought me dead, but I've left you waiting for all this time. Talita, did you get a package from me? I sent you an arcanogram in the post some time ago. I don't know.
No, I got no package.
In the time it's taken, should it have been here by now?
It should have been here by now.
That means...
Yeah.
It certainly should have been here by now.
That means your dad certainly knows you're here, and...
Do have Talita, I know you take trips out. Do you collect your own post, or does the attendant still...
No, the post is brought to the house as always has been.
Scheiße. Vater must have it. Okay. I'm surprised he's not in the lookout for me then. Okay.
I will say in the last, I do not know, week or so, Vater has been more troubled, quicker to anger. He's had a number of meetings with other people he knows from the army. There was one time I was passing his study and I heard raised voices. Um,
I'm sorry. I don't mean. I feel there's so much I need to say. I don't mean to have you spy on Vato or something for me. I don't. Okay. This is not. This is not good. Not right now. I wanted more time. I kind of look across the room. I thought I heard. Is Romilda not around?
oh, who knows where she is?
Well, she's probably in a museum or something. How have you both been? Talita, are you still helping the soldiers? Katrine, I hope that your friends are not being too difficult with you.
And Katrine turns to you and says, "Well, Asfester has met a very, very nice, a very, very handsome doctor."
Talita,
Lita and glowers at her sister.
I had, you've always the prettiest of us. I had no doubt you would. How have you been? Is there something official or?
No, there's nothing. Do not mind our full sister. He simply works with me in the hospital. That is all.
Ah, I see. Well, Katrine, you will have to tell me yourself.
Oh, I will. We'll organize some way to make
Yeah, I
correspondence.
will.
If you could,
Okay.
I
If the
mean,
if the post is being monitored, I will have to. I have a friend who got me here today. I am not at risk of overstaying. I can, if she is willing to help, if we survive, I can come back and give you the three of you arcanograms directly, so that you have them. But you will have to hide them.
how could
You
you
can.
afford 3 iconograms? They're so expensive.
Ah, Lieblings, I have been on such adventures. I have met some wonderful people. It has been hard. It has
Wait,
been hard.
is that? And Katrina
I,
points at your rifle, now noticing the glow of the arcane stone. Is that an enchanted rifle?
yeah, and I unstrap it and hold it in both my hands.
Where
Yeah,
did
I
you get
have.
a weapon like that?
Well, for some time since my desertion, I have been taking residence in Paris. And I met a wonderful artificer there who took me into her charge, helped me with some jobs. Uh, I have fought. Oh gosh, you would not imagine the people I've met. With them, we have fought vampires and werewolves, and we stormed through an elven manor and spent a little time in the realm of the
You're
Fae.
making fun of us now. You're teasing us.
Nein, dear Lieblings, I do not tease. Look,
You expect us to believe that you have been fighting elves and fairies and werewolves and
Well, you do not have to take it from me. Anclegon,
and as you say that, Antigon, who had using his camouflage merged into your clothing, leaps off your shoulder, landing on the table, revealing himself. And your two sisters scream as this little cat-sized dragon appears out of nowhere and roars at them both. And Anki just kind of looks back and gives you a little nod.
that was very well done, Anclegon. I am most impressed. I would not
Is
I would not doubt.
that a fairy dragon?
Yeah, it is a good friend of mine. Well, a good friend of a good friend of mine, but a friend of mine as well. This is Anclegon the Great, an esteemed wise mind and lover of good fun.
And Anki goes over to Katrina and just kind of nudges at her with his nose.
You can say hello. He understands what you're saying.
Shaking hand, she goes and just starts to pat him. And he
Say
kind of,
hello.
leans in.
My current allies and friends are incredible casters. Anclegon is the friend of one. The other is a remarkably powerful druid who is responsible for me being here tonight. She is with his family at the moment. It is our hope. I do not know, Katrine, you have always been more on the pulse. I imagine Talitha has been somewhat busy. Have you heard of the dragon appearing in Paris?
Yes, of course, everyone's heard of it.
I'm going to kill that dragon.
What nonsense is this? What are you talking about? You're going to kill a dragon?
I'm not going to kill a dragon. I'm going to kill that dragon.
What?
It is a creature of some vengeance, and it will not be long before it rampages across Paris and coming into Prussia and beyond, and it needs to be stopped. And I do not know the people who would be able to do so other than myself and my allies. I am stronger than I once was, and I am braver, and I am better, somewhat getting there.
Strong enough to kill a dragon?
Not on their own. Maybe not even with the group of us, but we owe it to ourselves and to everyone else to try.
This is madness.
And this is why I come to see you and see how you have been, and in some way say goodbye, but to let you know that if I do survive, I will not run anymore, not in the same way. I do not know if I'll be welcomed back into the home. If Vater has been talking to people in the militaries, and if he or others catch me, I can't imagine I will not be long for, at best, a court-martial. At worst, well, you know. But I want so dearly to be back in your lives. It has been only a year, and you've both grown so much. I can only imagine Romilda at her age. She must have blossomed. You both look so beautiful. I'm so sorry.
I don't know what I mean. If you had not, because you fled, what that did to Father, to our family name. But at the same time, if you had not, you'd be dead. And I would not want that. Like, you're still our sister. We love you. We want you alive. It was just that whole stupid war.
Yeah,
it was so stupid. It was so pointless. So many people died for no reason.
I know, darling. I know. I saw so much bloodshed on the front lines, and I can only imagine the state of those that you attended to.
It was awful. And after the last day, those who did survive, so many of them, their bodies covered in burns, so many of them dying just from the infections, the wounds. It was awful. We worked so hard, but there was only so much we could do.
I'm sure you did everything you could, and that was likely immensely valuable to those that needed it. You should be proud, Talita, but as you say, it should not have been necessary. A friend of mine was there facing down the dragon on that same day that I ran, and the stories that she has, it boggles the mind and hurts the heart.
And as you say that, you didn't hear the door open, but you do hear a very strong masculine voice saying, "And did she run to Tocta?" As turning, you see your father standing there, face down and angry.
Oh, man.
On instinct, I kind of turned to block my sisters and just round out my shoulders a little bit. She did not, Vata. She was not fortunate enough to be conscious for a while after the dragon attack. Neither was I for some time. I cannot say I do not regret what happened, but I live to this day for it, and I carry the memory of those I lost, and those that were lost because of me. I do not take pride in it.
An officer is responsible for the lives of those under their command.
Just as much as you taught me. I took that lesson to heart. But at the time, you saw me in those stupid training sessions you put me through. I was not ready for something like that, Father.
Sessions, they were to make you strong, to make you ready.
And clearly it was not enough. I was not born for war. I was not built for battle, Father. But you pushed me into it, and now I am built for battle. So take pride in that, Father.
I blame myself. It's not your fault. If you'd been born a man, then...
If I'd been born a man, I might have been just as much of a coward, Father. If I'd been born a man, maybe I'd have been lucky enough to be like you and survive years in the army until I was maimed and could no longer stand at my post. But there's no sense in asking what ifs. You tried for a son and it didn't happen. You got me. You got me, you got Talita, you got Katrine, you got Remilda. All of them are fantastic, incredible young women. In some ways, I like to think I am the same. I do not do what I do to make you proud, Vater. But I have seen such things in these past years that you would not believe. If I had been born a man, who knows? But I am more than I ever could be otherwise.
Are you saying that the Annelise standing before me now would not have run from the battlefield like you did?
I don't know. I will get the chance to prove that soon.
How? We are not at war. And you are a defector. You are no longer in the army. Prussian, German, or whatever we're called this week by Bismarck.
I do not fight for an army anymore, Vater. As you say, I do not have the right. But I fight for the safety of the people in my charge, my friends, my family. That includes you, if you wish it to be. At the moment, you likely have heard of the dragon that attacked Paris.
Of course, everyone has heard of it, yes. What's that got to do with anything?
Well, I'm sure you've already had meetings with the various generals.
Yes, we have. We're discussing tactics. We are looking, some of our engineers are looking at ways we could maybe augment our artillery to make it more agile, more accurate against such a beast.
Good. I satisfies. I can tell from first hand this creature is gargantuan, armored, deadly. And you will need those defenses if my friends and I fail.
What do you mean, if your friends and you fail? What have you got to do with... What are you talking about?
I am going to find that dragon, Father. And I am going to drive bullet after bullet after bullet into it until it is no more.
What madness? It's a dragon!
Yeah.
It would take an army to stop a creature like that.
It would. But I am the woman you made me. And I am enough for that.
You see this like wash of emotions come across your father's face as like he's furious looking at you, but hearing you say this, he's like there's anguish, there's fear. You know, the idea of you, his daughter, going to face this beast. He's feeling so many emotions right now. He can't process them all, you know?
So, what are we to do, Vata? I am sure that you have an officer or two at your beck and call. You can continue working on your plans, preparing your tactics, take me in, keep me safe. string me up. I am quite truly at your mercy. I won't fight. As I say, I am...
You may be a deserter, and you may have brought dishonor on our family name, but you are still my daughter, so I will not turn you in. But you cannot stay here. You must leave and not return.
I imagine you got my package to Tolita, yeah?
I did. I was shocked when I saw it. And you could see your sister looking confused and then giving your dad a pretty pissed off look, having learned that he intercepted her post.
What I wouldn't give to have seen the look on your face.
I nearly broke that iconogram, I will admit. I nearly smashed it in two. But something made me not.
As you saw by the messages, I have been up to some adventures recently, and be glad that you did not break it. You can now contact me whenever you like. Well, I'd look back to my sisters. It seems I'm not welcome for dinner, my darlings.
You can see Katrine has just got this confused wash of emotions over her face, and you can see Talitha has been crying. Like,
I'm gonna just walk over and kneel down in front of Talitha, wipe her eyes, give her a close hug. Look over at Katrine, hesitate, but then do the same for her.
Oh yeah, she gives you a big hug back.
I know you are but a young girl, but you are incredible. You are so much smarter than people give you credit for. Use that. Do not let the old man order you around. You will run this place years after I'm in the ground. Kind of just squeeze her a little bit. Stand back up.
Anklegon crawls up, jumps up, and alights on your shoulder.
Well, give Romilda my love. Say hello to my horses for me. I'll be in touch. So my father can't see, I just give them both a wink. Look back to Ertman. Well, Vata, it has been good to see you again. I wish it were under better circumstances. I hope you are well.
Please don't do something stupid to try to prove yourself.
I don't need to prove myself, Vata. Not to you.
Too late!
I have done several things already. There's no one I need to prove myself to, other than myself. And I'm a long ways down that path already. Whatever you hear of me in the future, well, hopefully I'll have earned some pride. Good night. And I'm gonna use my ring and shadow jump back into my bedroom just for dramatic effect.
Okay.
And there I'm gonna sneak into Tolita, Romilda, and Katrine's room, leave each of them a stack of 100 gold, about 300 gold worth of jewels, one of the elven dresses for each of them that I took from the manor, and then shadow jump back out onto the street.
Okay. So yeah, you shadow jump back out.
Yeah. I end up in the shadow of a tree, and well, about what time is it?
I mean, realistically, like, that entire encounter was probably only about 40 minutes. It's probably like not quite 8 o'clock.
Yeah. I just press my back to the tree behind me and look at the lights of my family manor and cry for about...
Oh no.
I don't know how long.
So, Sylvia, you eventually, having had a wonderful evening with your brother, your sister, your brother-in-law.
Sylvia's pretty drunk as well.
Yeah.
She's not like totally wasted, but
what do you want to do? What's your plan?
I'm gonna message Annelise, but because she's been drinking, it's gonna be like kind of like very everything is misspelled. It's crooked as hell, and she's just kind of okay. I can do this. Hey, you okay? I had a really great evening. Hope everything went well with your family. Because Sylvia, she's tipsy, but she's not stupid. Like, so she knows that things are going to be tense. Hope your family was happy to see you. I hope that you can see them after all of this is done.
I kind of squint at this message through like searing eyes and just heavy like droplets. Wipe my eyes because I think it's that's causing the problem with me not being able to read it, and just go, oh no, that's illegible anyway.
Yeah, oh no, it's an absolute mess. But I'll
look
see
at me,
you.
I'm Sylvia. I have an elven girlfriend and have fun with my family. I'll just message back, taking care of what I need to take care of, ready to leave when you are. Doesn't need to be tonight, and send that off.
I'm gonna say I can meet you back at the tree.
I send back tonight? ?
Sure.
Okay. And I'll find a cab and make my way back.
You find a cab, make your way back to the park where you first appeared in Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
Sylvia, your brother, and you walk to the park.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want you to leave just yet. And he's fairly quiet for the walk. As you're getting into the edge of the park, he just stops. Why does it have to be you?
I don't know, Heinrich. I feel like I got given another chance, but also somebody has to stop this dragon. Otherwise,
why does it have to be my sister?
Well, I can't answer that. I found myself in these circumstances with the power to at least try. And, my friends will protect me. Moraine can't interfere with the dragons, but she has been helping me make magical items that I can use to help my friends. And we also have Tito, even though, we did lose Mina and Aminata. But I have to try. I'm sorry that. And Sylvia's just going to give him a hug at this point because she's.
He gives you a big hug back. Huge big hug back.
I obviously I don't want to die, but I am going to do whatever it takes to keep my friends safe and to stop this dragon because it can't. If I don't, it's going to have a reign of terror, go on a rampage. I don't know, murder everyone else's children because their own children were murdered. It can't. I don't know why it has to be me. I suppose it doesn't have to be, but somebody has to. So I am here, and I wanted to see you and Adam before we left. So I am sorry that everything happened this way. What will you do?
We are already having meetings to prepare in case there is an attack on Germany.
Well, the dragon is currently in Gérard de la Mer in France.
I think nothing really happens without Moraine noticing. So she was able to tell me, and it has displaced a Tarask, so that is another problem that needs to be dealt with. So I don't know. I know Justine needs to prepare. She got a magical book. I have been making healing potions and magical items to help my friends. So we have been preparing, and we have Tito now. He's a fighter who was cursed with immortality, and he's very skilled. So
His look gives you a very confused look when you say that.
yeah, he fought in the Roman army, so
He's very skilled.
very skilled.
We can attest to that now.
Yeah.
Very skilled with his big sword.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It's a two-hander.
Oh God.
Yeah, it is.
Oh God, it's coming right for me.
Just here in the middle of the night, phalanx.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So you slowly continuing towards the tree, and you see Annelise there. Annelise, when they see you, how do you look?
Annelise had like found a bench and she's been sat there staring at the ground for like maybe 5 minutes, kind of just absent-mindedly scritching Anki under the chin.
Mm-hmm.
She's not crying as much now. It's just like the occasional tear slips an eye. Just very red-eyed and just looking much smaller than she normally does.
So yeah, you get up there, and Heinrich is there, and he sees you, Major Nicole.
Scheiße, Major Bauer. I know you told me to never show my face. Sylvia.
Annelise.
Can you just? I assume that you are part of this nonsensical plan.
Come hell or high water. You told me that I could not let Sylvia get hurt.
I'm glad that you are keeping that promise. No one can talk sense into my sister.
Oh, I could not even try.
Come here, sister. Give me a hug.
No. I can show you my new spell.
If you do not come back in one piece, I will kill you. I don't know how I will do it, but I will find a way to resurrect you so I can kill you myself.
Your girlfriend probably knows how to.
She's very powerful, but not a healer, so I don't know. But
okay, go back home to Paris, get some sleep. You need to rest before this fight. And he gives you a hug and a kiss, and he steps back.
Okay, Sylvia's gonna cast Tree Stride.
Tree Stride spell. A radiant, magical, glowing, door-shaped light appears in the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
You both step through and come out in the park in Paris.
I'm just gonna turn to Sylvia and pull her into a hug and just start sobbing.
Okay, no, Sylvia was kind of expecting this,
So with Sylvia and Annelise back in Paris, Annelise sobbing into Sylvia's shoulder, having had a very difficult reunion with her family, Sylvia having had a reunion filled with love, and the party getting ready for what will be possibly their last ever battle. This is a perfect place to pause in her story.
I just say, I think this definitely calls for sitting down in the grass, cracking open a bottle of elven wine.
Oh yeah, we've got the bottles are coming out.
We can drink from the bottle. It's fine.
Yeah, this is no.
Anywho, thank you all for joining us for what was a very emotional episode, and we shall see you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Good night, all. Bye.
Bye bye.